Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
For this is what the Sovereign Lord says.
Why do you need prophets to tell people who you are and what you want?
If you can justify everything that the God of the Bible has done, then you can justify any of your behavior.
A lot of this mentality is trickling into what is now mainstream right-wing Christianity.
I am capable of empathy greater than this God of the Bible.
This is a Bible that they tell kids. This is the good Lord. This is the good book. He is fantasizing about murder, mass murder.
Head over to sacrilegiousdiscourse.com right now to find out how to leave us a review or support us on Patreon.
Hey there, sinners and saints. It's your favorite Bible-bashing duo from Sacrilegious Discourse, and we need your help.
That's right, folks. We're raising funds for some heavenly equipment and a studio that doesn't sound like it's in the depths of hell.
Our current setup, let's just say it's more apocalypse than audiophile.
So if you want to hear us dissect the Bible without the background noise of demonic squirrels, chip in a few bucks.
We're aiming for $5,000 to upgrade our audio and build a studio worthy of blasphemous banter.
Donate today and help us spread the good word of atheism.
You can find a link right on our homepage, sacrilegiousdiscourse.com. Every dollar counts.
Even if it's from your collection plate. Husband,
Wife!
do you remember what happened on Friday and where the hell we are today?
Well, on Friday we read Ezekiel chapter 35.
Sure as fuck did.
And in that chapter, God was talking about Mount Seir.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Edomites who apparently they were helping destroy the Israelites. Yeah, which was God's doing. But
well, not always. They had been against the Israelites from like the very beginning.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, being enemies is one thing, but in this particular time, it was God bringing the Babylonians against Israel, and the Edomites assisted somehow. Mm-hmm. So God was attacking them, and then the Edomites helped, and then God was like, fuck you, Edomites.
Okay, but to be fair to God, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I'm doing this. It wasn't just that one act that God was punishing the Edomites for. They had, throughout the Israelites' history, done a number of things, like going as far back as when Moses was leading the people through the desert that 40 years. Yeah. And they had wanted to pass through the land of the Edomites. And they said, absolutely fucking not.
Sure.
No, we still hate you.
No, I get it. They've been mad at them for a long time. But, I mean, it's still God attacking Israel at the same time that the Edomites are helping this time. This particular time.
Sure.
And then that's when they occupied their land. So, I mean, it was a bit of, a convenient time to punish them, I guess. Sure. If you're going to punish them.
Sure.
Whatever. So I'm not down with God's punishments on anybody because it seems very just randomly dispersed to people. So.
Yes, I agree with you.
But anyway, that is what happened in Ezekiel chapter 35.
Yes.
Which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 36.
And before we do, I want to mention that we are still catching up from being behind. Mm-hmm. We didn't get a Patreon out this weekend, but we will have one out midweek.
Yes, I've been working on it. I've been behind on everything. So that's my fault. Apologies.
We will get one out shortly. Mm-hmm. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into Ezekiel chapter 36. And are you ready, wife?
Yep.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into Ezekiel chapter 36, or as I like to call it, Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Prophecy to the mountains of Israel and say, mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says.
I mean, nothing like speaking to some rocks.
Mm-hmm. The enemy said of you, aha! The ancient heights have become our possession. Yeah.
Okay. So we're kind of still maybe talking about the Edomites here?
Yeah, the beginning parts here is part of the last chapter.
Okay.
So,
right. Got it.
Yeah, it's like to be continued.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know because we thought it was the end
Sure.
on Friday. And then it's like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
Okay. But the whole chapter isn't. It's just the beginning part. Okay.
Yeah.
Therefore, prophecy and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Because they ravaged and crushed you from every side so that you became the possession of the rest of the nations and the object of people's malicious talk and slander. Therefore, mountains of Israel, hear the word of the sovereign Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to the mountains and the hills, to the ravines and valleys, to the desolate ruins and the deserted towns that have been plundered and ridiculed by the rest of the nations around you.
Sure. Which he said he was going to have them do.
Yeah.
So this was all part of the initial prophecy. And now he's going to be mad at the people that did the thing that he said that they were going to do.
God is mad at God's ineffable plan.
Right. Yeah.
Playing out.
Again, it's just, it doesn't work in my head. I'm like, you're just mad all the fucking time, dude.
Right.
Whatever.
Never not be mad.
Right.
This is what the sovereign Lord says. In my burning zeal, I have spoken against the rest of the nations and against all Edom, for with glee and with malice in their hearts, they made my land their own possession so that they might plunder its pasture land.
But he said he was going to make that land desolate and not good. But how can you plunder something that's already bad?
It wasn't bad. But God failed.
But God said he was going to do that.
He said he was going to do it, but clearly he didn't if the Edomites took it over.
That's why I'm pointing that out, because...
Therefore, prophecy concerning the land of Israel, and say to the mountains and hills, to the ravines and valleys, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Yeah, that's the one.
I speak in my jealous wrath because you have suffered the scorn of the nations. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Oh my God. Jesus. They added it before the beginning of every sentence? What the hell?
Yes. I swear with uplifted hand that the nations around you will also suffer scorn.
Okay.
But you, mountains of Israel, will produce branches and fruit for my people, Israel, for they will soon come home.
Okay.
Not 70 years later?
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, and this goes to the part where I'm like, they're talking about a new, they're talking about a soon to happen prophecy. Like this goes to that whole idea. And I keep saying that this doesn't make sense to where we push this off to be Jesus at some point or whatever. We're talking about near future.
Yeah.
Right.
You're talking about when they refer to David.
Yeah, when they refer to David and when they make assumptions that these are things that are going to still happen, whatever. There's definite things that Christians especially take from the Old Testament and they say, hey, this is going to happen, either when Jesus was alive or when he's coming back the second time, right? And I'm like, no, they're not. This isn't how it reads, guys.
No.
It doesn't read that way.
No, you're trying too hard over there, guys. I, God, according to Ezekiel, am concerned for you and will look on you with favor. You will be plowed and sown, and I will cause many people to live on you. Yes, all of Israel. The towns will be inhabited and the ruins rebuilt. I, God, according to Ezekiel, will increase the number of people and animals living on you, and they will be fruitful and become numerous. I will settle people on you as in the past and will make you prosper more than before. Then you will know that I'm the Lord.
And this is problematic actually today. This is partly why Israel feels they have the right to create settlements on Palestinian lands. Yeah. And this is why, they feel that they have this ownership of this land is because of the Bible. Yeah. Right? And I don't want to disparage the right of Israel to exist where they are, but it does contribute to the fact that they are they're fighting against people that are already there to create this space that was allotted to them in the Bible. Right. And that has turned into some ugly situations is all I'm saying. Yeah. So I don't, it is, there's a lot of bad situations all the way around. I don't want to not acknowledge that the Israelites and Jewish people have had a rough time in the world. But they are also now creating a rough time in the world other people.
That does not justify a genocide on other people.
No, it does not.
That you were genocided at one time does not afford you the right to genocide others for your land that you absolutely have to have and can't share.
I wanted to caveat that because it's usually people will call you anti-Semitic if you say that they don't have the right to exist in their land, whatever. It's not even the whole argument that is made by the people who are adamantly for Israel is to the point of absurdity. You're not allowing for real life and real happenings,
Well, the people that accuse you of being anti-Semitic are generally the most anti-Semitic Christians who are using this situation to pretend that they're totally pro-Jewish and pro-Zion and pro-everything Israel.
Yeah.
And it's like, isn't that convenient? All of a sudden, you just love these people that you didn't love yesterday.
It's not that they love them. It's they're part of a prophecy. They're part of the completion of their religion.
Yeah.
And therefore they must exist because of that.
Right.
That's all it is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, all of a sudden, because of this situation, they're like, oh, no, we totally, if you don't like it, then you're anti-Semitic. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Because
yesterday you were anti-Semitic.
Right. But it's because it's an effective, it's an effective jab at you, right?
Right.
You call someone anti-Semitic, obviously based on recent history, that doesn't sound good, right? It's not. It doesn't sit well with people of any type. So,
well, anti-Zion is not anti-Semitic,
correct?
And wanting the Palestinians to not be genocided is not anti-Semitic.
I completely
wanting
agree.
a peaceful situation for both parties is not anti-Semitic.
Agreed.
So fuck anybody who says otherwise. They clearly don't understand the history or geography of the place, and or they don't give a fuck about it.
Right.
Truly.
Let's have a rational discussion about it outside of religious practices. Okay?
Right. Exactly.
That's all I want.
Exactly. Wouldn't that be nice?
It really would. It really, and that goes for anything, anywhere, ever.
Yeah.
Like, let's just skip the religions bit. I mean, okay, you have a very historical religious place that you want to keep. I'm down with that. That's cool. We can talk about that outside of religion even. It's a historical place.
Right.
For you.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
But can we not include, like, genociding other people and justifying it but God said.
Whatever.
God said I could. God said I could. So I will.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck this God and all his murdery bullshit.
Right.
Who says, I will cause people, my people Israel, to live on you. They will possess you, and you will be their inheritance. You will never again deprive them of their children. This is what the sovereign Lord says.
Yeah.
Because some say to you, you devour people and deprive your nation of its children. Therefore, you will no longer devour people or make your nation childless, declares the sovereign Lord.
Who's he talking to?
I don't even know. I don't understand.
The people in the mountains or the Israelites?
I thought he was talking to the Israelites, but that sounded like maybe he's talking to...
He did say at some point, like, he was going to make the women of Israel or Judah eat their children and stuff because they'd be starving so much in the Babylonian exile.
That's true.
So that may be what he's referring to.
You're not going to be...
You're no longer going to eat your child.
Yay! Let's all celebrate.
Look how good of a God I am. I'm not going to make you eat your children anymore.
Whee!
I'm such a great God.
That sounds fun.
The bar is so fucking low.
I know. No longer will I make you hear the taunts of the nations. And that is what I cared most about.
He doesn't.
Not my starvation.
Right. I mean, that's probably why he brings them back in the first place. Because he's like, this sucks. No one's
praising me.
No one believes I'm powerful, man.
Oof. And no longer will you suffer the scorn of the peoples or cause your nation to fall, declares the sovereign Lord.
Okay.
Again, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. When the people of Israel were living in their own land, they defiled it by their conduct and their actions. Their conduct was like a woman's monthly uncleanness in my sight.
Jesus.
You period, you. You menstruation. God damn it, you menstruation.
He caused menstruation to happen.
You fucking disgusting bleeding vagina.
His fucking invention.
I know.
According to the Bible. I mean, you can't make the human and then say, that's disgusting. You made that.
Right.
You could have made it without that.
Right.
Why didn't you? If you find it so fucking repulsive.
Right. ugh, I can't believe you're bleeding out your vagina, even though I made you do that specifically.
Yeah.
You're so disgusting.
No,
Like,
it's
fuck
just,
you.
The fucking, like, the ancient Israel, these ancient times, it's just a bunch of fucking incels.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They don't even understand women at all.
No.
They just own them.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. So anyway, periods are gross, blah, blah, blah. So I poured out my wrath on them because they had shed blood in the land and because they had defiled it with their idols. Fucking Asherah poles. I dispersed them among the nations and they were scattered through the countries. I judged them according to their conduct and their actions. And wherever they went among the nations, they profaned my holy name. For it was said of them, these are the Lord's people, and yet they had to leave his land. What's up with that?
Okay, so this is the bit where he's concerned about his fucking image.
Yeah.
He's like
he's passing it off that they're worried.
Right.
He's the one.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, these people outside are like, what's up with that God?
Well, no, and you know that this is like the like Ezekiel, right? He's a fucking prophet.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there in Babylon preaching about fucking God. And people in Babylon are going, dude, you just got fucking conquered, man.
Yeah.
What do you think? Your God sucks, man. What do you think? So this is just projection. This is Ezekiel like, oh, this sucks. We got to figure out a way to get this fixed.
Yeah, exactly. I, God, according to Ezekiel, had concern for my holy name, which the people of Israel profaned among the nations where they had gone. Therefore, say to the Israelites, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
It is not for your sake, people of Israel, that I am going to do these things.
Wait. He just got done saying that they're going to be wonderful and perfect when they come back. But he's like, you're profaning and I'm not doing them for you. I'm going to do this for me.
Yeah.
And I'm
going to bring you back, but because my name is getting trashed.
Part of the prophecy was that he was going to make their hearts, like they were going to be the most perfect people in the whole perfect fucking world.
We're not there yet, though.
Right, but like he wasn't going to bring them back until that was supposed to happen when he brought them back.
Yeah, but then they started making fun of him.
Oh, and God, he just couldn't handle it,
God was like, no.
Okay.
No, I am powerful. Watch. And so he's saying, I'm going to bring you back, not for your sake, but for the sake of my holy name, which you have profaned among the nations where you have gone. I will show the holiness of my great name, which has been profaned among the nations, the name you have profaned among them.
Yeah.
Then the nations will know that I am the Lord,
so
declares the sovereign Lord.
First, he's going to destroy people. That shows that he is the Lord. And then he's going to save people, and that's going to show him that show them that he's the Lord. And next till, I don't know what, do a fucking magic trick. Actually a magic trick would probably be better. At least then there's something happening that I can see. That, like, if it was like true magic, right, I'd be able to see it.
Yeah.
But this is just
silly
politics
nonsense.
And bullshit.
Yeah. Then the nations will know that I am the Lord when I am proved holy through you before their eyes. For I will take you out of the nations. I will gather you from all the countries and bring you back into your own land.
If I recall correctly, it was actually Cyrus that did that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Not God.
Yep.
Okay.
I will sprinkle clean water on you, and you will be clean. I will cleanse you from all your impurities and from all your idols. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. There you go.
I wonder if that's where, like, holy water came from.
Probably.
Sprinkling, like, the baptism and the holy water.
Communion.
And that sounds...
Not communion.
No, not communion.
But, yeah, baptism.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder.
That's interesting.
Well, clean water. Whee!
Yeah.
And then you'll be clean.
Right.
I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you. I will remove from you your heart of stone.
Okay.
And give you a heart of flesh.
Here it is.
There you go.
He's fixing the people.
Yeah, he's just doing it sooner than we thought he was going to because he was like, they're making fun of me.
Well, the reasoning behind why he's doing it, obviously, is very not good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is not a good reason to fix your people.
You are fixing your people out of vanity.
And if you can fix them because you're disturbed at what other people think of you as a god, why couldn't you definitely could have fixed them before they got fucking murdered, conquered, and whatever.
Yeah.
right? Like there is no actual good reason as to why you're fixing them.
Right.
Which means that you had no good reason for destroying them.
Exactly.
So like either way, you're doing this action for a bad reason. And that means that your decision to do the bad thing where you murdered a lot of them and dispersed them across all the places was bad to begin with. You fucked up.
Yeah.
God fucked up.
You have a mercurial temperament. You're petty and capricious, and you are unreliable, and your mood turns on a dime.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
No.
And I will put my spirit in you and move you to follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. Oh, okay. Then you will live in the land I gave your ancestors. You will be my people, and I will be your God. I will save you from all your uncleanness, the uncleanness that I put there in the first place.
Yeah.
I will call for the grain and make it plentiful, and will not bring famine upon you.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Thank you for this time.
Right.
I mean, could you maybe wind back time so that, my family didn't die?
I don't know how much we can rely on his promises, though. I really don't think that he holds up his end of the bargain very often. And moreover, he comes up with excuses not to, right? He's just like, whatever, you guys are fucking up, I'm doing this.
Exactly.
So, but he never, this is not, I just got to say it one more time. He is not fixing this for the right fucking reasons.
No, he's a bad guy.
There is no, this isn't holy. This is just bullshit.
Yeah.
This is not any reason to justify what you did in the first place.
Right.
Like if you were planning on doing this because you're mad at how these other nations see you, that's crazy, man. You just,
why do you need validation from these other people?
Yeah.
Like, why are you worried about them? You're God. For fuck's sake. Why are you worried about them?
But it bothers me why, like, he fixed his people because of this reason. That's what bothers me.
Yeah.
It's not that he did the action. Look, the action in the first place was bad enough. Okay. But if you're going to do something that drastic to your people who consider you their God,
yeah,
then you should have a equal, if not better reason to bring them back and say that these are now your people, and they must have learned, they should have learned a lesson.
Right.
But no, you're just changing their hearts, which you could have done at any point.
Exactly.
According to you, according to this Bible.
Yeah.
That's what you could have done at any point.
In canon. And that's why this story sucks.
Yeah.
I will increase the fruit of the trees and the crops of the field so that you will no longer suffer disgrace among the nations because of famine. I worry about your attitude and your reputation suffering because of the famine that you're going through. I don't worry about the famine itself.
Yeah. It's all about the reputation. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so stupid.
It is.
Then you will remember your evil ways and wicked deeds, and you will loathe yourselves for your sins and detestable practices. I need an Asherah pole. I'm telling you.
Right.
I want you to know that I am not doing this for your sake, declares the sovereign Lord. Be ashamed and disgraced for your conduct, people of Israel! Exclamation point.
Okay.
This is what the sovereign Lord says. On the day I cleanse you from all your sins, I will resettle your towns and the ruins will be rebuilt.
That's great. The
desolate land will be cultivated instead of lying desolate in the sight of all who pass through it.
But it wasn't too desolate for the Edomites to take it over.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're still claiming that it was.
Yeah.
But he destroyed the Edomite, or whatever. He's saying he's going to destroy the Edomites for taking over that desolate land that was also fruitful at the time when the Edomites took it over.
Right.
Yes
and no.
I can't keep track of all the fucking lies that are happening in these prophecies. Like, it's just like whatever they want to say at any given. It's just like Trump. Like,
I was going to say,
any point you just say whatever the fuck you want to say, and that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's what we're supposed to believe that you did. And exactly. I'm not. That's not a good answer.
No,
it's not an acceptable answer.
It's not,
especially in a Bible that is supposed to be the word of an infallible God that we're supposed to worship and believe is giving us an afterlife and, making everything on this entire earth the way it is.
He's supposed to be good and holy. He's not good.
I don't give a fuck if he's good and holy. I just want to know that he is powerful enough to at least say things in a manner that makes sense. Like, he can't even say a sentence. He can't even keep his facts straight from one fucking paragraph to the next.
And the Christians don't care.
And the Christians don't care.
And that's weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all are weird.
And they'll say it's all true. You're reading it wrong. I'm like, the fuck I am. It's literally the same wording that he's using desolation in one place where he used fruit. Like it was. I can't.
Oh my
gosh.
So you're mad that it doesn't make sense, even though we went in knowing it probably.
No, I know it does. Look, I know the Bible does. I've always known that there is some bullshit regarding the Bible. Mm-hmm. And I've obviously, as we've been going through here, I've learned more and more how much bullshit is in the Bible, mm-hmm. right? But this whole chapter right here, and the last chapter, has included things that are just bald-faced lies with regard to how God claimed things went down. And moreover, they are in back-to-back paragraphs half the time. And it's just, you can't ignore this amount of just wrong. It's so fucking wrong.
It's very wrong.
And the actions he's taking are morally bankrupt. And it's just not... this is not a God that I would even want to worship if he was a God.
It's not a good book.
It's really not.
They will say this land that was laid waste has become like the Garden of Eden. The cities that were lying in ruins, desolate and destroyed, are now fortified and inhabited.
I'd still be mad though, because mm-hmm. Egypt and what was the other place that had the better trees than the Garden of Eden? Assyria, yeah. So like it might be like the Garden of Eden, guys, but he didn't give you the best place.
Yeah.
So
then the nations around you that remain will know that I, the Lord, have rebuilt what was destroyed and have replanted what was desolate. I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will do it.
Okay.
This is what the sovereign Lord says.
All right, yeah.
Once again, I will yield to Israel's plea and do this for them.
What? He was just saying he was the one that was pissed off. Whatever. Fuck this guy.
He's so Christ. Irritated. I will make their people as numerous as sheep, as numerous as the flocks for offerings at Jerusalem during her appointed festivals.
He has lowered his numbers quite a bit. He was used to say sand and stars, and now we're at sheep.
Now we're just at sheep.
Shit.
Yeah. Count sheep before you go to sleep. You'll run out, no doubt. So will the ruined cities be filled with flocks of people. Then they will know that I am the Lord.
That's not what that's not how I'm taking this.
The
exactly.
End.
Yeah, no, the end. I got it. Okay. I think I got most of the things out that I wanted to say in that chapter, because it was just pissed me off the whole way through.
Yes.
But it's just not right. This book is not right. It's not correct. It's not good. It's not a God that anybody should want to follow. There's nothing here that makes any goddamn sense.
None.
So I don't know what else to say. Like that whole chapter was just a bunch of contradictions about how he's going to act, and really bad reasoning as to why he was doing the actions that he was doing.
Right.
Like that was just a horrible chapter when it comes to trying to say that this God is a powerful or good or just anything. He's not any of those things. He's just dumb.
He's just bad and wrong.
Right. And moreover, it's just Ezekiel just placing this onto this God, the actions that he wants to see. So
Ezekiel be cray.
Yep. All right. Well, that was Ezekiel chapter 36.
Sure as fuck was.
Which means that we'll be back tomorrow with
Ezekiel chapter 37.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday and where the hell we are today?
Well, yesterday we read Ezekiel chapter 36.
Sure as fuck did.
And in that chapter, God decided that he was really upset about how everyone was mocking him and that he just kind of looked like a pitiful piece of shit God. And so he was like, I'm going to now save my people, but not because I like them, but because I want other people to think well of me, and I can't stand how people see me.
Mm-hmm. It's about vanity.
Yeah. That was pretty much he talked to mountains too.
He did.
There was that was in there.
Yeah. did.
So whatever. He was talking to there was the Edomites and he didn't like them and he didn't like them mocking him, and then he brought the people back and whatever.
Yep.
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
You got it.
Yeah. So that was Ezekiel chapter 36.
Yes, it was. Which
means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 37.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into Ezekiel chapter 37.
Or Ezekiel.
Also known as Ezekiel, you asshole. And I just have to say before we jump into this, I have gotten away from reading out the title of the chapter.
Yeah, it's been a while since we did that.
Yeah, because it wasn't included in the original text.
Right.
But I really like this one and want to steal it.
I think we have like creative license and we're allowed to cover these titles when and if we choose.
Yes.
So therefore I grant you permission to cover the title.
I don't need your permission, but I'm glad
I'm just saying as far as,
I'm glad you're okay with it.
If there's a vote in here, I'll vote to
cool.
allow.
I'm glad you're on board.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, this one is The Valley of Dry Bones. Tell me that's not an epic title for a book.
Yeah.
Oh my
pretty
God,
good.
The Valley of Dry Bones.
They did good with the title. Let's see how they did with the text.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. The hand of the Lord was on me.
Okay.
And he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of a valley.
The hand of the Lord was on him and he brought him out by the Spirit of the Lord. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The hand and the Spirit got together.
That's a lot of the Lord being on you and doing things with you.
Hokey pokey.
Yeah, he turned them all around.
Yep. And they went to the middle of a valley. It was full of
bones. Dry bones, maybe even.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley. Bones that were very dry.
There we go. There it is. Yep. Now we got the
Valley of
title.
Dry Bones.
Yep.
He asked me, son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Mm-hmm. Can these bones live?
No, they cannot.
I said, Sovereign Lord, you alone know.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this one.
I mean, that was like the smartest way to say fuck knows.
Right, yeah.
Then he said to me, prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord.
Does it really say that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
This is what the Sovereign Lord says to these bones.
This is such bullshit.
I will make breath enter you and you will come to life.
Oh.
But why do you have to have a dude tell them that? They're not alive yet.
Jesus Christ.
I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you and you will come to life.
We're literally talking about like the zombie apocalypse here. Like this is God is bringing back to life dead people.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you do.
Okay.
As you do.
Okay.
Then you will know that I'm the Lord.
I mean, if you do that, I'm just going to clarify right now. Mm-hmm. If somebody told me I'm speaking for the Lord and the Lord's telling me I'm going to bring back these dry bones and they're going to come back to life with tendons and flesh and the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And then it happens, I'm totally on board with the whole God thing. I'm going to stipulate that right now.
I don't know that I'm on board with the God thing, but I am on board with something magical just happened, and I would really like to know what the fuck it was.
Yeah.
So I prophesied as I was commanded, I, Ezekiel. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And
to the dry bones.
To the dry bones.
That are not yet.
In a vision. This is in a vision, remember?
Okay. Are we sure? They didn't stipulate that.
Yeah, I thought it did. The hand of the Lord brought me and set me in the middle of a valley. Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah, right.
Nope.
I mean, it sounds like it could maybe be a vision, but it doesn't actually say that it's a vision because it's a lot like the time that he was transported over to Judah. Remember how he got transported to Judah?
Yeah, and that was a vision.
That was a vision. So, like, this could be interpreted as a vision, and I'm sure if somebody were to, like, say, no, well, this was a vision... Okay, but God's saying that he can bring dead people back to life. Okay? Like a whole fucking valley of dry bones.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, all right.
What valley is this that has all these dry bones in it?
You'd have to think it's maybe Gehenna or something like that, right? Yeah.
So I, Ezekiel, prophesied as I was commanded. And as I was prophesying, there was a noise, a rattling sound.
Oh, my.
And the bones came together, bone to bone. I looked, and tendons and flesh appeared on them, and skin covered them, but there was no breath in them.
I'm having images of the movie The Army of Darkness as we're reading this, because it just reminds me of the skeleton army that comes against whatever the people that were fighting against the evil forces or whatever. So
now, see, what I was picturing was that old timey black and white Halloween cartoon with the dancing skeletons. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Then he said to me, "Prophecy to the breath. Prophecy, son of man."
Prophecy to the okay. I'm gonna let this one ride and let this go.
Prophecy,
see where this goes.
Son of man.
Yeah, mere human.
You fucking worm.
Sorry.
And say to
I'm a little bent here as far as what's going on. Like this is pretty fucking nuts.
It really is. And say to it, "This is what the sovereign Lord says. Come, breath, from the four winds, and breathe into these slain that they might live."
Okay.
We literally have zombies happening.
I mean, yeah, what is this?
Freaked the fuck out.
I'm not sure what to even think here.
I cannot, on this planet, if there are bones that come back to life. No, absolutely not.
Okay, this is Ezekiel, right? The dude that saw the fucking angels with what was on eyeballs, with eyeballs and wheels in the sky, and he laid on his goddamn side for a year, and now he's seen fucking bones come back to life.
Did you know?
I think this guy is on lots of drugs or really fucking psychotic.
Did you know the book of Ezekiel was so problematic in so many different ways that it almost was not included?
I can see why.
Yeah, I think maybe they should have gave it a pass.
Yeah.
Pass. Skip.
There's so much in here you can just be like, this is too, this sounds like a really just it's out of place. It sounds like some sort of fantasy novel sometimes.
One of these things is not like the other.
No. Yeah.
And I mean, that could apply to a lot of things in this book, but Ezekiel is right at the top of that list.
Yeah, right?
So, I, Ezekiel, prophesied as he commanded me, and breath entered them. They came to life and stood up on their feet, a vast army.
Okay.
Oh, I do not like this, please.
No.
Oh. Then he said to me, "Son of man,
you mere human,
you fucking worm, these bones are the people of Israel."
What?
I can't. They're zombies. Oh, what is happening right now?
I mean, this is dumb. This is dumb.
Why does the Bible have zombies inside of it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Tell our listeners how scared of zombies I am.
Oh yeah, wife is as terrified of zombies. Like
it's my irrational fear.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
My sister has an irrational fear of aliens, and my irrational fear is zombies. And sometimes when there's fog, I'm like, that's zombie fog. There's zombies out there.
Mine is wasps and hornets.
And bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, tell about the bee.
Yeah.
There's a bee story.
So I had my window down the other day and I was driving and had my hand hanging out the window, and
as you do,
and a bug hits my hand, smacks it, and then that bug bounces into my cheek and stings me in the cheek as I'm driving, and then it like is dying, curled up on my shirt as I'm driving. So I just I was part of my drive to work is a country road. So I was on a country road. I just stopped the car in the middle of the road. And I had to figure out. I grabbed something like a piece of paper and then threw this thing out the window.
You littered a bug and a paper.
I have no qualms about this.
No, you got to get the bee.
It had to be done.
You got to get the bee out.
Right? Yeah, that was my first. That was my only priority.
Oof.
But I got stung in the cheek as I was driving with my hand out the window. That never happened. I haven't been stung in like over 20 years.
Yeah.
And then I just driving to work with my hand out the window. That's how it happened.
And that's why you keep your hands in the right at all times. Don't keep your hand out the window. Good grief.
But I'd much rather get stung than see an army of zombies/skeletons come to life in front of me.
This is not okay, you guys. So, this is like literally not okay.
Yeah.
Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. These bones are the people of Israel. They say, our bones are dried up and our hope is gone. We are cut off. Yeah, you are, because you're fucking dead.
Right, yeah.
Therefore, prophecy and say to them, This is what the sovereign Lord says. My people, I am going to open your graves and bring you up from them. What? No. I cannot. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Are they gonna?
I feel like this has got to be it's alluding to the fact that I think the people that are in their graves and the people that have the dried bones are the people that have been exiled, not necessarily like it has to be if we're to believe that this is part of the Bible and saying something about what is going on, it has to be the people that are exiled, and he's referring to them as having been the
dead.
Equivalent of dried up bones.
They might as well have been dead to have been scattered so far,
I guess. And this is God like reinstilling his word, his vision, his whatever into them, and that's when they're going to be able to come back, right?
I really don't know, but I'm not happy about it.
No, I much prefer, as we're reading it, to view this from the literal standpoint of which it's being read, and that's to say that it is a zombie apocalypse just happening here in a valley somewhere with Ezekiel and God, because that's just crazy. That's nuts.
This is disturbing me on all kinds of levels, and I'm sorry for my reaction, but I'm not down with zombies, you guys. I cannot. Then you, my people, will know that I'm the Lord when I open your graves and bring you up from them. Yep. That's how I know. Either that or a witch.
This is better, as far as knowing that someone's the Lord. This is a better trick, as I have said, than other things he's done.
True.
So I'll give him that.
I, God, according to Ezekiel, will put my spirit in you, and you will live, and I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know that I'm the Lord, and I've spoken and I've done it, declares the Lord.
He's spoken and he's done it.
Yep.
He brought people back from the dead.
Okay, please let that section be over. We're entering a new section of this chapter.
Okay.
Please let there be no zombies now. Okay.
All right, yeah.
The word of the Lord came to me.
Oh, okay.
Son of man.
You're human and skeletons.
Fuck you. You fucking worms. Take a stick of wood and write on it, belonging to Judah and the Israelites associated with him. Okay. I'm going to write that shit on a stick.
Is this like a trail marker that you put up on the path to Israel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or in the movie, what's it called? Bedknobs and Broomsticks. It happens during World War II, when they were like shipping the children out of London to avoid the bombings. Right. And so there's Nazis looking for the town of Pepper and Jai.
Okay.
And so they approach the intersection, and this guy is painting over the signs, and they're asking him, which way to Pepper and Jai? And he's like, I don't know. And I love it. Okay, sorry. That had no relevance other than you said signs.
Sign marker on the tree,
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to write some words on this stick.
Yeah.
Then take another stick of wood and write on it, belonging to Joseph, that is, to Ephraim, and all the Israelites associated with him.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now take those two sticks. Ready?
We're taking those two sticks, yeah.
Join them together into one stick so that they will become one in your hand. I don't know how...
This is him bringing back all the tribes? Is that what this is?
Putting them together.
So, yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
When your people ask you, won't you tell us what you mean by this? Your sticks. What are you doing with those sticks there, Ezekiel?
Right.
Hey, Ezekiel, how about those sticks?
Yeah.
Hey, Ezekiel, nice sticks. When your people ask you, won't you tell us what you mean by this? Say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I'm going to take the stick of Joseph, which is in Ephraim's hand, and of the Israelite tribes associated with him, and join it to Judah's stick. I'm going to put those...
Gotta touch those sticks.
Get your sticks.
The sticks gotta stick together.
I will make them into a single stick of wood.
Yeah.
And they will become one in my hand.
Okay.
Hold before their eyes the sticks you have written on, and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will take the Israelites out of the nations where they have gone. I will gather them from all around and bring them back into their own land.
Okay.
I will make them one nation in the land on the mountains of Israel. There will be one king over all of them, and they will never again be two nations or be divided into two kingdoms.
Okay.
They will no longer defile themselves with their idols and vile images or with any of their offenses, for I will save them from all their sinful backsliding, and I'll cleanse them. They will be my people, and I will be their God. La 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 la.
That section about the zombies, the skeletons, the whatever.
I was moving on from
No,
that.
I know. But I mean, seeing as we did move on so quickly from that, and there's like no follow up with it.
None.
It has to be some sort of just like a metaphor as to what is
It was a vision.
occurring, right?
It
And
was-
that's the bringing back of Israel to the land
Bones
of
and
milk and
sticks.
honey, right?
Bones and sticks
Yeah,
and
so-
paths and feet and
I'm assuming that like I loved it. Like I think that's a great chapter as far as like making fun of the Bible, because it's just like what the fuck.
there's zombies
But
in the Bible. Y'all.
I think it is probably a metaphor for what's happening.
I don't like that it didn't specifically spell out that it was a vision.
Right, I don't either. But like I said
he
at the
took
beginning,
them to this valley and is like, look at these bones standing up.
Sure. But I mean, if you take the earlier one where they brought him to Judah and that was a vision, the wording is very similar. And given how many mistranslations there have been and different things like that, I think we could easily say that's probably the same. You could interpret it the same way.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
And I'm not, I'm not fair to the Bible very often.
no,
so,
no,
I mean,
no.
I'm trying to be a little bit fair here. That's
Got it. My servant David, the dead guy.
Yeah,
While
right.
we're talking about zombies.
Sure.
My servant David will be king over them, and they will all have one shepherd. They will follow my laws and be careful to keep my decrees.
Okay.
They will live in the land I gave to my servant Jacob, the land where your ancestors lived. They and their children and their children's children will live there forever. And David, my servant, will be their prince forever.
I see. So this is more of that Zionism. This is more of that they are owed this land.
Yes, forever.
Right, forever.
Forever
and
ever.
when you get into Christianity, this is where they're like, well, this is fulfilling the prophecy of what is to come, right? And since it hasn't, these things haven't happened.
Right.
Not in any real meaningful sense.
Right.
So these are seen, I think, today as future prophecies of the second coming.
Yes.
With regard to Christianity, or in Jewish tradition, it would be the first coming. So,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I don't like this aspect of the Bible because it has so many bad connotations with regard to politics and everything today, and obviously the Palestinian-Israeli war that's going on right now. So I mean, there's just a lot of bad shit surrounding this.
They're like, move. This is our land. Die. I don't care.
Right.
This is our land. Just die.
No, and that the very ultra right wing in Israel is very much for that type of ideology. So
yeah, not okay.
It's
guys.
kind of scary.
Yeah, like I don't think God meant for the next 2,500 years just keep killing everybody all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the God of this Bible did, clearly.
Well, it strikes me that we are modern nations, right? What we would consider today modern civilizations, right? And yet we are still having religious wars.
Yeah.
We're still having in Western cultures.
Yeah.
We are still participating in what could be deemed as a religious war.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous.
It really is.
It makes you just want to cry.
I mean, it just, we should be past this, I feel. Like this is not
science.
okay.
You guys, but science, technology.
Now, of course, we're gonna say there's other reasons, but when you get to the heart of it, it is still somewhat based in religion.
It's all religion and politics and geography and greed for oil and resources.
Right.
Yep. All right. So they and their children and their children's children will live there forever. And David, my servant, will be their prince forever. Whee! I will make a covenant of peace with them.
Okay.
It will be an everlasting covenant.
Oh.
That's what forever means.
Yeah.
Also infinity.
Right.
And on and on. And
so I do find it interesting that we distinguish between the saving of his Israeli people, right? And Christianity. Even in Christian circles, right?
Yeah.
They don't see this as like the Christians are not the Jewish people, right? The Jewish people are the ones that are going to be saved by God in their land.
Yeah.
Not the Christians.
Right.
Right? The Christians see that as a sign that their thing is going to happen.
Right.
It's so weird and convoluted to me.
It really
I don't really understand why any of this works in any meaningful sense.
They're like, how can we help you guys hurry up and do your thing? Because as soon as your thing is done, then our thing happens.
Right.
And it's like what?
Christianity automatically admits, yes, there is this other religion that we acknowledge exists and was part of our religion and is part of our religion, and they have to fulfill their part for us to receive our part.
Yeah.
And yet we still don't quite like them that much, but they are important. So they're over there and whatever. And
we did kind of kill their Jewish guy, Jesus.
Well, the Romans did. I mean, okay.
It's all weird, though.
I mean, I guess that was kind of Christianity, but it's
I don't understand any of it.
I don't think the whole idea of the second coming had quite solidified as something that was dependent on Israel returning to their homeland at that point.
Right.
That's more of a modern idea.
It's just so weird. I don't understand. Like, how can you be one religion and say, our religion depends upon your religion?
Right.
Which is different from ours.
I would be interested in finding out when that ideological change happened in Christianity, though. Like, when did that start becoming a thing that we, I say we, when did that start becoming a thing that Christians take as part of their completion of their prophecy? When did that become a thing to where we believe that this has to happen in order for the other thing to happen? And the whole Revelations thing and all that. So
another thing I don't understand.
Revelation.
Yeah. Another thing I don't understand is how the Jewish people are God's chosen people.
Right.
But yet Christians are just like, we're going to heaven, you're going to hell. And it's like, except for the Jews, right?
I don't think, I think honestly, we're not supposed to dig into this too much, right? It's supposed to just be Christians are the correct, like if you talk to a Christian, they're the correct religion. It's just these other things over there have to happen. And, blah, 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 whatever.
And they're God's chosen people and that's their land.
Right.
But
moving along.
I don't know what that means. But how does that work though? Like, do they get raptured?
Yeah, I always wondered, do they, are they part of the, I think there are some answers for this. I've heard people give answers to it. They're maybe going to, because it says they're going to live there forever. I think that this is like the new on earth Garden of Eden, while the Christians get to go to heaven or something like that.
Oh, so the Jews don't get to go to heaven?
I don't think so.
Oh. Yeah. I don't want to be God's chosen people then. If you got a choice, why would you choose to live on earth rather than go to heaven?
Well, you would have to admit that you believe that that is real. And generally in the Jewish circles, there's not, there is an idea of something like heaven, I guess, but not quite as solidified as what the Christians have. So therefore, a paradise on earth might be more appealing.
Okay. That's the world to come, right? Is that what they call it?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The whole thing is really weird.
No, yeah, I agree.
It's like magic in the sky or magic on earth.
I mean, to be fair, I'm talking a little bit out my ass here because I don't really know exactly all the ideological, workings behind all this.
Yeah.
But I have a basic sense of what it is and what it entails, sort of. And that may be ignorant. I'm probably being ignorant here, but that's the best I can come up with for myself. So
at this moment,
I highly suggest if you're interested in this to research it more yourself, because it is relevant to stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think we'll probably end up digging into this a little bit at some point, probably fairly soon, because it is important and it's important to what's going on around us. So.
And it would explain why Christians are so excited for what's happening over there in Palestine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, let's finish this up.
Yeah.
Okay. Everlasting covenant. I will establish them and increase their numbers, and I will put my sanctuary among them forever.
Are we increasing them like sheep or sand?
It didn't specify.
Okay.
Certainly not stars.
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah. My dwelling place will be with them. I will be their God, and they will be my people.
So what, are they going to rebuild the temple?
Yeah.
And then he's going to dwell with them again?
Yeah. He's so excited.
Okay.
Then the nations will know that I, the Lord, make Israel holy.
Okay.
When my sanctuary is among them forever.
I'm not really sure what happened to wife here. She went sing-song here.
Because it's so happy.
Oh, okay.
It's like, la la la, flowers and lollipops.
Got it.
God is going to be with them forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll be so pretty with the Care Bears.
Hey, they shouldn't worry. I mean, if God really wants to, apparently he can just bring you back from the, dry bones in the valley. So.
And that was the end.
That was the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So zombies and they're going to get all the wonderful shit.
Zombies and Care Bears.
Yeah. It's the zombie Care Bear stare?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, that was Ezekiel chapter 37.
Sure as fuck was.
Which was really kind of crazy.
Very weird and spooky.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it.
No, but I mean, I'm glad I can literally say there's either zombies and or skeletons in the Bible now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We just keep adding to the list of ridiculous things that pop up. So
yeah. But
one more. Here's one more.
But no unicorns, for God's sakes.
I think unicorns might be in there somewhere, maybe. I'm not sure. There's this list that makes the rounds on like the atheist meme circles and whatever, and it has a list of all the things, like pick which one is not in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
And the one that's not, like unicorns is I think on there as one of the things that is in the Bible. So
interesting.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. I know there's a lot of weird stuff still coming, like even in the New Testament, like with Revelation and everything like that. So
we get to see more of those eyeballs.
Yeah, that too.
And those four-faced angel dudes.
Right. All right. So again, that was Ezekiel chapter 37.
Yes.
And we will be back tomorrow with
Ezekiel chapter 38.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened the day before yesterday and how we got here today?
Well, the last time we did an episode, which was not yesterday because we suck, but it was Ezekiel chapter 37. Mm-hmm. And in that episode, God had Ezekiel prophesize to some dry bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a valley. The valley
of dry bones, yeah.
Which sounds like a fucking excellent name for a YA novel.
Right. And then we had what appeared to be a zombie apocalypse happening.
And I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah. But it turns out it probably was more like just a symbolism for him returning Israel from Babylon to Israel.
It felt like an acid trip.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like what I imagined an acid trip would be.
I mean, a lot of Ezekiel's stuff is very weird.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, and who's to say that he didn't actually mean a zombie apocalypse? Right? Maybe that's what he meant.
Who could know? And you said that we missed yesterday because we suck. And we didn't suck. You got stuck at work.
I did.
Super late.
Yeah. But I wasn't done with my description yet of the
I'm sorry. Yes. Zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. They also rubbed two sticks together.
Yes, they did.
It was God bringing the two tribes back together is what that was about.
You were like, but wait.
I had that all set up. It was going to be funny. And now it's only funny because I had you wait for the two sticks. So now it's bullshit. So anyway, that was Ezekiel chapter 37.
Sure as fuck was.
And today we're going to be reading
Ezekiel chapter 38.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into Ezekiel chapter 38, or as I like to call it, Ezekiel.
Right.
And I'm going to read the first verse. Well, the first two verses, but then I'm going to have to stop.
Is the second verse the same as the first?
It's the same, but worse.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
The word of the Lord came to me.
Did it? Ezekiel to Ezekiel? Not to you.
Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Set your face against Gog of the land of Magog.
I thought I was going to say God for a second.
Gog.
I was like, whoa.
The land of Magog.
Okay.
The chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Prophecy against him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's stop. Do you remember that whole Gog Magog thing?
I do vaguely.
Right.
But, only because they have interesting names.
Right,
so
exactly.
Not really.
So I was like, hold on.
Yeah, what's a Gog Magog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. So I was like, okay, let me go look that shit up.
Right.
Okay. So I could have waited to cover this in a Q&A, but I feel like it's pertinent to read it as we're going to read the chapter.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So this chapter is about Gog of Magog.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So Gog and Magog, or Yajuj and Majuj, which is what they are in Arabic.
Because that's even less clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Gog and Magog, or Yajuj and Majuj.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
They're a pair of names that appear in the Bible and the Quran.
Okay.
Variously ascribed to individuals, tribes, or lands.
Got it.
Okay. So in this chapter, it's Gog of Magog.
Okay.
But in other sources, it's Gog and Magog.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So in Ezekiel chapter 38, which is what we're reading today, Gog is an individual and Magog is his land. By the time of the New Testament's Revelation, that final book, Jewish tradition had long since changed Ezekiel's Gog from Magog into Gog and Magog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the story changed.
So it differs in the Jewish tradition versus the Christian tradition.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. That's interesting.
The Gog prophecy, according to Jewish understanding, is meant to be fulfilled at the approach of what is called the end of days, but not necessarily the end of the world.
Okay.
Okay. So like not an apocalypse per se, but like
something real bad.
Yeah, like the world to come kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
Jewish tradition viewed Gog and Magog as enemies to be defeated by the Messiah, not Jesus.
Right, the Jewish Messiah.
Yes, the Messiah to come, right?
Yeah.
Which would usher in the age of the Messiah. So these guys would be, the two of them would be defeated by whatever this new Messiah is, and that would usher in his age.
Okay. Yep.
One view within Christianity is more starkly apocalyptic.
Okay.
Which everything seems to be.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Making Gog and Magog, here indicating nations rather than individuals, allies of Satan against God at the end of the millennium, as described in the book of Revelation. Okay. So this legend just got all kinds of twisted the fuck up.
Right.
And lends more credence to the fact that the Bible is a bunch of hooey and legends.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
A legend was attached to Gog and Magog by the time of the Roman period, which, that's the Jesus age kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
That the gates of Alexander the Great, were erected by Alexander the Great to repel the tribe of Gog and Magog.
Okay.
Okay. So, the Jewish people, remember they had, if you were following along our book club, we covered Alexander the Great.
We did.
And how they revere him, oddly enough.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he is supposed to have done is to have erected these gates to hold back the hordes of Gog and Magog, the tribes of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So early Jewish historians knew them as the nation descended from Magog the Japhetite, as in Genesis, and explained them to be the Scythians.
So I'm assuming that since we're making these stretches with regard to what's happening in the future in both Jewish and Christian traditions, that this isn't necessarily a factual tribe that exists in the day that they're referring to with regard to this?
That's what I think.
Okay. I'm very curious about that.
That's why there's all these stories, because they're like, we don't really know what this is, because, first it's a dude from a land, then it's two dudes that like fight each other or fight Satan or fight Alexander. What the fuck? We don't even know. And then one of them has the same name as some dude that descended from some Genesis guy.
Right.
Right. So,
but to be fair, it's, Ezekiel has been all over the fucking place.
Right.
I mean, we just raised an army of the dead.
So who could know?
What are
right?
we? How are we supposed to believe what this is? What should we even take from it?
Who could even know?
Right.
And I haven't even started actually reading this chapter yet.
If anything, we should be looking for descendants of Ezekiel to get us the good drugs.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because apparently he had them. He knew the hookup.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me think that we should 23andMe him. Yeah, for sure. So according to early Christian writers, so this would be after Roman times.
Sure.
They became apocalyptic hordes.
Okay. All right.
And so, they were like Gog, not a man, but a horde of dudes.
Yeah.
And Magog, not a man or a land, but another tribe of dudes.
Got it. Okay.
Hordes.
Yeah.
Throughout the Middle Ages, they were variously identified as the Vikings, the Huns, the Khazars, the Mongols or other nomads, or even the 10 lost tribes of Israel.
So just anybody that was like frightening on the outskirts up there or whatever.
Exactly. They're like, there goes some Gog and Magog up there.
Right.
Or like things that mothers would tell their children, like, you better get yourself tucked in by bedtime or Gog and Magog's going to get you.
Right. Yeah.
They appear in the Quran, like I said, as Yajuj and Majuj, primitive and immoral tribes that were separated and barriered off by Du al-Qarnayn, he of the two horns.
Okay.
Who is mentioned in the Quran as a great righteous ruler and conqueror.
Okay.
Like, weird, right?
Yeah.
So in Genesis chapter 10, remember I said that the Magog one is mentioned in Genesis?
Right.
Magog is described as a son of Japheth, grandson of Noah, although there is no mention there of a person named Gog. So, we don't even know.
Okay.
And then there's this little treasure that I'm just going to drop, and then we're going to go back to reading.
Sure.
Magog may be code or cipher for Babylon.
Got it. That could make some sense,
right?
I guess. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. All right. So back to the chapters now, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, son of man, set your face against Gog of the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, prophecy against him and say, him being Gog of Magog.
Right.
Okay?
In the Christian Bible. Right.
Yeah. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against you, Gog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn you around, put hooks in your jaws, and bring you out with your whole army, your horses, your horsemen fully armed, and a great horde with large and small shields, all of them brandishing their swords. Persia, Cush, and Put will be with them, all with shields and helmets. Also Gomer with all its troops, and Beth Togarmah from the far north with all its troops, the many nations with you. So he's like, Gog is leading all these other weird hordes of troops, and God don't like it. So he's like, all you boogeymen fall under the Gog of Magog.
Okay.
And I don't like any of you, and I'm going to get you because I'm God.
Sure.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Get ready, says God, according to Ezekiel.
Right.
Be prepared, you and all the hordes gathered about you, and take command of them. After many days, you will be called to arms. In future years, you will invade a land that has recovered from war, whose people were gathered from many nations to the mountains of Israel, which had long been desolate. They had been brought out from the nations, and now all of them live in safety. You and all your troops and the many nations with you will go up, advancing like a storm.
Okay.
You will be like a cloud covering the land.
So this is interesting. Like, this is God, right, prophesizing through Ezekiel to a tribe that he can't even talk to, from what I understand, because we don't even know who the fuck they are, really.
Exactly.
And he's saying that you all, Gog of Magog,
and all your
hordes are going to attack Israel. That's where we're at right now, right?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm just trying to clarify because it's an odd prophecy.
It is.
And I feel like this is gearing up to be them getting defeated at the gates of Israel, probably. But I
Right.
don't want to step there yet because I don't know for sure.
But yeah, you have the right understanding of it,
It's an
though.
interesting prophecy because we are now one step beyond them bringing, like we're just assuming they are back in Israel, and now we're prophesizing about what's going to happen after that with regard to this other enemy.
Yeah.
So
this undisclosed boogeyman, unidentified enemy is very like out there, like ethereal. Like
Right.
we're not sure, some enemy.
And I
right?
don't really know what happened with regard to the Romans, but like, I mean, obviously Israel didn't stay, they didn't control themselves, for
Right.
after they got done with the Babylonian exile. So there were some problems with them being conquered, I guess, probably by other people. But we're going to assume that they didn't get conquered by anybody named Gog of Magog because we don't know that person.
Right.
So
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting.
And I know the biblical perspective is going to be that it's much later. This is something referring to
yet to come.
whatever,
what the fuck
Revelation, end of times. It
Yeah.
signifies something else.
ever. Right.
I get it, but
It's still interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I had to like dig in a little bit when I was doing notes. I was like, no. I'm not waiting until Saturday for this one. So this is what the sovereign Lord says on that day when
they attack. Yeah.
Thoughts will come into your mind and you will devise an evil scheme. You will say, I'll invade a land of unwalled villages. I will attack a peaceful and unsuspecting people, all of them living without walls and without gates and bars. I will plunder and loot and turn my hand against the resettled ruins and the people gathered from the nations, rich in livestock and goods, living at the center of the land. Because, that's what bad guys do. They go.
I think you would have had that thought before you marched over to their city, probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Well, evil for the sake of evil twirls their mustache and reveals their evil plans. Right.
Yeah.
Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish and all her villages will say to you, have you come to plunder? Have you gathered your hordes to loot, to carry off silver and gold, to take away livestock and goods, and to seize much plunder? Therefore, son of man,
You mere human.
you fucking worm, prophecy and say to Gog. So now God is telling Ezekiel, according to Ezekiel, to go talk to this Gog dude,
Sure.
Gog of Magog,
Yeah.
and tell him this.
Right.
This is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
In that day, when you have this thought and you think you're going to do this thing, and the people are like, you going to do that?
Right.
In that day, when my people Israel are living in safety, will you not take notice of it? You will come from your place in the far north, you and many nations with you, all of them riding on horses, a great horde, a mighty army. You will advance against my people Israel like a cloud that covers the land. In days to come, Gog, I will bring you against my land, so that the nations may know me when I am proved holy through you before their eyes.
Because he's going to stop them.
We're
or
not,
something.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
I
All right.
I don't know. He's just saying, you're going to come, but you're going to think it's you, but I'm the one doing it for whatever reason.
Right, which he claims that all the time. I mean, he claims that he brought Babylon down to whatever. He claims ownership of all things because if he didn't, he's not really God. So,
but here's my thing. This is after your people are back and they're yours and they're good and everything is roses and lollipops.
Right.
Hey, God, why are you bringing an army against your people now? You have Care Bears now.
I mean, I'm sure that people would say that it's just to prove his might, to prove his ability to be godlike, right?
But what if you just don't, though?
Right, and moreover, like, if you really did, like we talked about how he was going to reinstill them with all the good feelings towards God, right? Mm-hmm. So if he did that, there should be no need for this.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's where this loses its thread a little bit.
Yeah. This is what the sovereign Lord says. You are the one I spoke of in former days by my servants, the prophets of Israel. At that time, they prophesied for years that I would bring you against them. This is what will happen in that day. When Gog attacks the land of Israel, my hot anger will be aroused. Yeah, it will.
Okay.
Declares the sovereign Lord.
Yeah.
In my zeal and fiery wrath, I declare that at that time There shall be a great fucking earthquake in the land of Israel. The fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, the beasts of the field, every creature that moves along the earth, and all the people on the face of the earth will tremble at my presence.
Okay.
And by earth, do you mean just that place over there in that area?
Yeah, I mean, because it's going to be a very localized thing.
Or do you mean the actual planet? Like,
right.
I tend to think, God, that you are very localized, and you don't mean that the whole fucking planet will tremble.
Right. But I do, it's interesting the wording they're using here, because it feels very Genesis. Mm-hmm. Like you remember how they used to say the furry animals that scurry across the earth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's some similar wording here that feels like it's almost kind of out of Genesis, which I know it's not, but it sounds like somebody was reading Genesis before they wrote this.
Yeah.
So.
And then also like took some, I don't know, maybe the New Testament had been written at this point, and they were like, let's throw some Revelation in there.
Yeah, that could be.
Like, I have no idea when all this shit was
especially
written.
since we're reading the version of this that is going to be not the Jewish version of this. So, like, there is probably definitely some revision, I would imagine, in this chapter.
I have no idea, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
The mountains, continues God according to Ezekiel, will be overturned. The cliffs will crumble, and every wall will fall to the ground. This is some earthquake.
Yeah.
I will summon a sword against Gog on all my mountains, declares the sovereign Lord. Every man's sword will be against his brother. I will execute judgment on him with plague and bloodshed. I will pour down torrents of rain, hailstones, and burning sulfur on him and on his troops and on the many nations with him.
Burning sulfur?
Yeah.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Well, I don't know. The sky. God gonna pour it on you.
Was that a common occurrence? Like, how do they know about burning sulfur?
Right? I don't know.
That's an odd thing to throw in that mix, you know?
They were watching too much Supernatural. And so I will show my greatness and my holiness. Whee! And I will make myself known in the sight of many nations. Then they will know that I'm the Lord. La 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 la, the end.
Okay. That was an odd section.
Yes.
Because we have nothing to really base what that is referring to on.
Right.
And the direction with which that prophecy happened was not aimed at the normal sort, right? Like Ezekiel's been aiming his prophecies at Israel or Israel's neighbors.
People who already done fucked up, not people who we haven't even been introduced to, who have not yet done anything.
Right? Yeah.
It doesn't really track. It's weird.
So I did a quick search because I was very curious about it while we were sitting here about burning sulfur, but it was very common back in those times. They used it for purification, and they used it for special offerings and different things like that. And there were some practical uses with regard to medicine and bleaching and things like that. Huh. So it was a common thing that they used back then, apparently.
Okay.
And I just wondered, because I'm like, how does that make the mix of rain, earthquake, and then burning sulfur?
Right.
Like, they weren't exactly chemists back then.
Yeah.
So it bothered me just a little bit to where I needed to do a quick search. So,
got it.
Do you have anything else to add with regard to notes or thoughts?
This section with Gog of Magog will be continued tomorrow in tomorrow's episode.
Okay.
So we're not done with this guy.
Got it.
And I will see what else I can find about him, because I'm just very intrigued. Yeah.
No, I agree. And we should be, hypothetically, we should be back on track by tomorrow morning. So we will be doing, so we just finished Ezekiel chapter 38. And that means we'll be back tomorrow with
Ezekiel chapter 39.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what we read yesterday and where we are today?
Well, yesterday we read Ezekiel chapter 38.
Sure as fuck did.
And in that episode, we read about Gog and Magog.
Gog of Magog.
Gog of Magog. Yeah, and we don't know who the fuck Gog of Magog is, but it might be Gog and Magog or Gog of Magog. There's a lot of Gogs and Magogs.
Here a Gog, there a Gog, everywhere Gog, Gog.
Yeah. But essentially, it is God has Ezekiel prophesizing to Gog of Magog, And again, we don't know who that is or where they are because no one really knows what that is. And so we're just guessing that it is some sort of a prophecy towards something future that might happen in Israel with regard to the Bible. And of course, there's all kinds of people that have different interpretations because no one knows what this actually is. So therefore, Jesus gets involved and the Jewish people get involved and probably even, it's all over the fucking place.
Well, because this Gog of Magog or Gog and Magog show up in the Bible and the Quran.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, even maybe the Quran gets involved.
Yeah,
so
because what the fuck?
Yeah, it's not. It's weird.
It's weird.
So anyway, that's as much as we know about Ezekiel chapter 38, which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 39 with more of Gog.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into Ezekiel chapter 39, or as I like to call it, Ezekiel.
Yes.
And as I said in the intro, this is a continuation from yesterday's episode about Gog of Magog.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm. Prophecy against Gog.
Of course.
And say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I'm against you, Gog. Chief prince of Meshech and Tubal.
Yeah.
I will turn you around and drag you along. This must be after the earthquake that shook the world.
Right. Yeah.
I will bring you from the far north and send you against the mountains of Israel. Then I will strike your bow from your left hand. Your bow.
Yeah.
Okay. And make your arrows. Yeah, bow. Make your arrows drop from your right hand.
Okay. Wait, this is sounding. You remember back when Moses was fighting Pharaoh, right?
Yeah.
And not fighting, but like doing his magic displays in front of Pharaoh and trying to convince him to leave Egypt, right? And God was like, Moses, go do these things.
Yeah.
Right. And then God was also like, but I'm also going to harden Pharaoh's heart and he's not going to accept it. And so you're going to fail. Right. So he's doing both of those things at the same time.
Right.
And it's like, why are you, if you want them, what's the fucking point? Right. So, and this is similar. This is similar because he's telling Gog, I'm going to bring you against my people. And then when you get here, I'm going to fuck you up.
Well, it also sounds like somebody watched too much of those Super Saiyans with Goku. Because, like, all I can picture is somebody in that, like, pose where they're leaping across the sky. Yeah. And they're going, like, forever. And they never land.
Yes. That's classic anime, whatever. Jumping thing.
The jumping thing, thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so God is continuing to speak per Ezekiel.
Yeah, to Gog.
Yes.
Right.
On the mountains of Israel, you will fall. You and all your troops and the nations with you. Ha ha ha.
Okay.
I will give you as food to all kinds of carrion birds, to the wild animals.
Okay, yeah.
You will fall in the open field, for I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord.
Got it, yeah.
I'm not just going to fuck your shit up. I'm going to feed you to the fucking vultures and shit.
If God's the one bringing them, though, I'm still kind of stuck on this.
Okay, hold on. But you said that before, and I let it go. I don't think it said specifically that he's bringing them. It just said, y'all are going to be coming this ways, and that's not, I'm going to stop you.
No, he said he's going to send them against Israel. Like, that's what it said at the beginning of this chapter.
Sending them against?
Yeah. Yeah, it said that specifically.
I'm against you, Gog. I will turn you around and drag you along. I will... Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're right. Okay.
So, yeah, he's causing them to go to Israel.
Specifically, like somebody who was just over there minding their own whatever.
Right.
Maybe not, but unmentioned up until now. Like,
right, but
fuck?
At the same time he's saying he's going to send them against Israel, he's also saying, okay, now prophecy to these people and tell them that I'm going to kill the fuck out of them when they get here.
Let me ask you, if you're Ezekiel, are you going up north to look for Gog and be like, hey, guess what?
No.
Bro.
No, Ezekiel never did this. This is bullshit.
Yeah. You will fall in the open field, for I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord.
Yeah, well, Ezekiel spoke anyway.
Yeah. I will send fire on Magog and on those who live in safety in the coastlands, and they'll know that I'm the Lord.
What the coast? We were just talking about the north, and now we're talking about the coastlands?
Sure.
He's just going to kill everybody when this happens, huh?
Fuck everybody up.
Except for the Israelites. He's
I'm
"You guys are good."
God. I'm a petty little bitch. I fuck everybody up.
I mean, really, that's just what he does. He's killing people indiscriminately. Basically.
You have magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have magic. You're God and you have magic.
Sure,
okay?
sure, yeah.
And I am Ezekiel. Okay?
Yeah.
So now you tell me what you're going to do.
What I tell you what I'm going to do.
You're God with magic, and I'm Ezekiel.
If I'm God with magic, I'm going to
Talk
say...
to me. I'm Ezekiel. Talk to me.
Tell the people that they're going to be awesome and they're going to be all right, because I'm just going to leave them alone, and if they need help, I'll help them out.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The end.
Right, the end.
That's a great book.
Yeah.
I love that story.
Yeah, that pretty much covers everything up to current state with the Old
that's
Testament.
chapter
If
1.
I were God. If I were God.
That's chapter 1, okay? This is
Yeah.
chapter 2.
Okay, all right.
I'm Ezekiel still, and you're still God with magic,
Sure,
okay?
yeah.
Hey, God.
Uh-huh.
So there's some people here that are dying of like leprosy or whatever.
I'll cure them, obviously.
Sweet.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah, the end.
Okay, chapter 3.
Sure,
Ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Hey,
So
God.
this is a great mind exercise here. I'm liking this, yeah.
Hey, God.
Yeah, what's up?
There's some people to the north, and they keep attacking us, and we're not trying to bother them, and like they're bugging us, and I don't want like them to die or anything, so I'm not trying to ask you like for murdery type
I'll
things.
totally just change their hearts and I'll make them stop doing that. So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so cool of you. Is there anything I can do to help? Or?
I mean, just don't be a dick, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can do
that's
that.
pretty much it.
Like feed the needy and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What if there's no needy, God? Is that something we can work out?
I mean, I can see what I can do, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we could figure something out.
The end.
Okay.
What a great fucking book, right? Wow. I love this book. Okay, that was fun.
Yeah.
You see how
It's real easy. Yeah, I think maybe I should take over his job.
Yeah.
And that's
You can't do worse.
No, you really can't.
And I think I did a good Ezekiel because I was still doing an acid trip.
Yeah.
Because I was seeing God.
Right.
But I think I asked for the right things.
Yeah.
And I think that counts for something somewhere.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually this is it's something we may pursue in the future, but we still have the information available for it and the podcast ready to go if we want to do it. But like, I was toying with the idea of creating a podcast called God Recruiter and just hiring the next God, you know?
Yeah, that would be
I thought that would be really, really fun.
But honestly, I think you would do a good job. So
yeah, I mean, I think I could do a good job.
Yeah,
but I definitely will be I can do better than God.
Yeah,
in the Bible,
Yahweh
in the
or
Bible,
whatever.
yeah, the Bible,
the Bible, the bobbleheaded, the bobbleheaded God. I, says God, according to Ezekiel, will make my holy name known among my people Israel.
If they don't fucking know their name by now, then they must just not know God.
I will no longer let my holy name be profaned, and the nations will know that I, the Lord, am the Holy One in Israel.
Didn't we solve this when he brought them back to Israel? Remember how he was fixing their hearts and all that stuff?
Yeah.
So I don't understand this not being profane. Like, is he talking about people in other countries profaning him?
Yeah. He's still so fucking worried about what the people that he created, but that aren't his chosen ones, what they think of him.
Okay.
And I'm like, what if you just choose them too?
Yeah, I mean, you are God.
You made everybody,
you
right?
hypothetically have the ability and have used the ability, according to the Bible, to change other people's and not your nation's hearts.
Right.
So why don't you just do it to the people that are profaning you? That would be so much easier, wouldn't it?
It would be nicer.
Like, you can snap your fingers and in 6 days come up with all of the universe creation and everything. Certainly you can change like 6,000 people's hearts, right?
Right.
That doesn't seem like that big of a task at that point.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you already invented these people. You know how they work, and you can obviously do that. So just fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can rest on the 6th or 7th day or something. I mean,
however many days
whatever you need, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're good with that.
Sure. It is coming.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It will surely take place, declares the sovereign Lord. It's a coming.
Yeah.
It's a coming.
Yeah.
This is the day I have spoken of.
The day, okay. This is the day you've spoken of.
Yeah.
This is the day that Gog's coming to.
You know how I was talking just then?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I said what I said.
Got it.
Okay.
So this changed from a prophecy to current day?
I don't know.
All right. I don't either.
Then those who live in the towns of Israel will go out and use the weapons for fuel and burn them up. The small and large shields, the bows and arrows, the war clubs and spears. For 7 years, they will use them for fuel. 7 years.
7 years. That's a lot of fucking shields and spears. I don't think spears burn that well.
That's a long fire.
I guess there is a wooden shaft, so you can burn that.
Yeah.
But still.
That is a long burning fire.
It really is. It really is.
I don't think
he's saying he's going to kill a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
That's all he's saying.
Yeah. It's a little bit more darkly poetic than as numerous as the stars in the sky or the sand on the beach.
It really depends on how many fires they have going, I think. Like if you had just one fire, maybe you could keep that going for 7 years if you whatever. But if everybody's got their own fire in their own place,
right?
That might last like a few weeks, maybe.
At most.
If you had, I don't think they had any more than, they couldn't have had any more than like 500,000 people. Like
right.
that's probably even giving them too much credit, right?
I agree.
And even if they had that many people, I don't think that wouldn't last 7 years.
No.
Not if it was multiple fires.
It'd last a week.
And if it was a bonfire even, that would probably be pretty quick too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They will not need to gather wood from the fields or cut it from the forest because they will use the weapons for fuel.
Okay.
Will they though?
Yeah, I mean.
And they will plunder those who plundered them and loot those who looted them, declares the sovereign Lord. Because
I don't recall Gog ever looting any of these people. This is just him sending, unless he's referring to, if he's referring to this being Babylon, that would make sense.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. And yesterday we did say that Gog might be a code word for Babylon.
And that reference right there makes me think that maybe that's what he's talking about. So
right. He's like, we're going to get you back, you fucking Babylon bitches.
Yeah.
But we can't say your name because we're scared. And I'm God and I'm scared.
I think one of the biggest problems with the Bible is that some of the stuff we can kind of agree that this is about that, right?
Yeah.
But most of it is so vague as to, you can just interpret these things in the Bible any way you want.
You mean kind of like how myths are?
Yeah.
You mean kind of like how legends are?
Right.
You mean kind of like how stories of old, like the Greek and Roman gods are?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Say less.
Right.
On that day, continues God, according to Ezekiel, I will give Gog a burial place in Israel, in the valley of those who travel east of the capital letter C.
Okay.
Okay. East of the sea.
So would the capital letter C be like they already got rid of that, didn't they?
Yeah. I don't know what they mean by the C
with
a capital letter.
I mean, I would assume it means the pool that they built but that got dismantled by Babylon. So, because they did call that the sea, I believe.
They did. Yes.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's the capital letter.
Okay.
It's a capital S.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It will block the way of travelers because Gog and all his hordes will be buried there. So it will be called the Valley of Hamon-Gog.
I wonder if that's a valley that still exists.
I don't know.
I don't either.
For 7 months, the Israelites will be burying them in order to cleanse the land. Damn, that's a lot of fucking bodies.
Right?
That could be Babylon.
Yeah.
All the people of the land will bury them, and the day I display my glory will be a memorable day for them, declares the sovereign Lord. People will be continually employed in cleansing the land. They will spread out across the land, and along with others, they will bury any bodies that are lying on the ground. After the 7 months, they will carry out a more detailed search.
Okay.
Are you looking up the...
I'm looking up to see if that valley exists, because I'm kind of curious if that's still there.
Gog.
Yeah.
As they go through the land, anyone who sees a human bone will leave a marker beside it until the grave diggers bury it in the valley of Hamon-Gog.
Got it. Okay.
It's Hamon.
Hamon. Okay.
The Valley of Hammon Gog.
Got it.
Near a town called Hamana.
Oh, okay.
And so they will cleanse the land. Son of man.
Yes, you mere human.
You fucking worm. This is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
Call out to every kind of bird and all the wild animals. Assemble. Avengers, assemble. And come together, which is what assemble means, from all around to the sacrifice I am preparing for you. The great sacrifice on the mountains of Israel. There you will eat flesh and drink blood.
What?
No, I will not, sir.
What the fuck?
You will eat the... Wait, hold on.
It just says flesh. It might mean animal flesh.
Hold on.
Yeah. Just an FYI, real quick, while you're holding on. Mm-hmm. The Valley of Hammon Gog does not officially exist. So there's a lot of... it has a lot of symbolic meaning, but there is not actually a place that anyone is actually aware. They say it hasn't been discovered yet. So,
okay.
Which leads me to believe that it doesn't exist.
Right.
I would think that if you buried that many fucking people in the ground...
It would show up.
It probably would be something that somebody would remember even from that far back.
Yeah.
And it would make stories to where people would still know where it is.
Oh, also that reminds me, there's this kind of geological study from the air that people do now where from the air, like in airplanes, right? Yeah. That they can see different kinds of markers and how the vegetation grows or doesn't grow, as the case may be.
Yeah.
And so they're using that to help identify
dinosaur bones and things like that, right?
Not just dinosaur bones, but
old civilizations.
Yeah, anything that is, buried or underground or whatever.
Right.
And so you would think that a big, gigantic valley of buried bones,
right, would probably show up. Yeah.
Somehow, like the vegetation or something would surely look different in that. At the very least, it would look different there. I'm not saying that it would be a giant marker that says, lots of bodies buried here, but it would be like, hey, there's a giant circle down there where the growth is different.
Yeah.
Let's check that out.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I went back a little ways, and no, he's not saying people come eat the flesh and drink the blood.
Okay.
He's saying he call out to every kind of bird and all the wild animals.
Oh.
So he's saying, say to those birds and wild animals, assemble and come together from all around to the sacrifice I am preparing for you, the animals.
I see.
Okay, so he's talking to the animals right now.
Okay.
The great sacrifice on the mountains of Israel, there you will eat flesh and drink blood. So this is interesting because normally the animals are sacrificed and then the humans eat them. But in this case, they're sacrificing the men to the animals.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. You will eat the flesh of mighty men and drink the blood of the princes of the earth as if they were rams and lambs, goats and bulls, all of them fattened animals from Bashan. Og of Bashan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gog and
Og.
Magog.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Og of Bashan.
But Og of Bashan is, I think...
Gone.
Yeah, it's definitely prior to this. So
Og of Bashan is gone.
Right.
And Gog and Magog are now Agog.
Right.
At the sacrifice I am preparing for you, animals and birds, you will eat fat till you are glutted and drink blood till you are drunk. I want to see a drunk bird.
Yeah.
That would be funny as fuck.
Yes. Yeah.
At my table, you will eat your fill of horses and riders, mighty men and soldiers of every kind, declares the sovereign Lord. Okay, I know it's animals eating them. It's gross.
Yes.
Honestly.
It is.
I don't want to see or even imagine that.
No, so. I really like one of the worst images in my mind that I can conjure up is when like a bird is like picking at at meat and it like picks up like a tendon and it like snaps it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's so gross, right?
Yeah. That happens in like The Stand.
Yeah.
There's a place where that happens. Oh, and then
I saw it at Applebee's once.
Shut up.
I did. I was standing at the parking lot watching a bird do this. I'm like, oh my God.
That is
this
absolutely
is so horrible.
not. Yeah, no. It happened in 28 Days Later. Mm-hmm. Like, the bird is chewing on a piece of human flesh that's hanging up there.
Just to be clear, it wasn't a human that the bird was eating on in the Applebee's parking lot. It was like a rabbit or something.
Okay, yeah. So the bird is in 28 Days Later, he's chewing on this thing, and the dad looks up right as a drop of the infected blood falls into his eye.
Yeah.
And then he goes zombie. But before he does, he's like telling his daughter to get away.
Right.
He doesn't want to,
I remember that, yeah.
eat her.
Yep.
Oh, God. I cried and was terrified. Oh, that movie was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I'm horrified of zombies, but I'm also like morbidly
it's like
attracted.
a love-hate thing you got going on.
The best zombie movies are the ones that make me feel the most scared but have the best stories. Like 28 Days Later, I love that movie.
Yeah.
That's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. No zombies here.
Zombies.
Just animals eating humans. No big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. I will display my glory among the nations, and all the nations will see the punishment I inflict and the hand I lay on them. Yeah, they will all fear you then, Jesus.
But they still won't, though, because he's not... Well, I mean, he's saying that he's going to kill all these people, but really it's not going to be him. He never does.
Right.
So, let me backtrack. There have been a couple instances in the Bible where he claims to have killed lots of people, but
like
without the help of humans.
Right. Like he opens up the earth and shoves them into a crevice.
Right.
Or like he zaps them.
There was one back, it might have been, I can't remember which book it was in, but I remember him killing like 180,000 people.
Yeah.
Like just with a wave of a hand type thing.
Yeah.
But these are few and far between where he does these types of things.
And those were all like super, super early on.
Right,
like
which makes them pretty questionable because...
It's Pentateuch magic times.
Yeah, because there was a lot more... They weren't even referencing like historical events at those points. They were talking about... It was just a lot of symbolism and,
creation. We were still in creationism, honestly.
Right. So I didn't take any of those stories very literally at the time.
Right.
But now we're talking about the history of it all.
Historical events.
And they don't ever, when it's actually happening, they never describe it as God is actually just like snapping his fingers and doing it.
It's always people did things.
Right. At his behest, but
still.
Yeah.
Okay. I bet that those people would beg to differ. If they could say.
Right, yeah. No, I was fighting some dude, man. I wasn't fighting God.
Yeah, my king told me to go there, so I did. Because that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yo.
I think we should really, if we ever come up with time machines, we should go back and interview some of these people.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. From that day forward, the people of Israel will know that I am the Lord their God.
Yeah.
That's from that day forward.
He keeps saying that.
It's like they never know.
If what he says actually stood the test of time in any sense, they would know his name was the Lord from like forever ago.
Yeah.
But apparently they don't.
They keep not knowing, and he's like, "This'll work," and then it's like, "No, they still don't know that your name is the Lord."
Yeah, you don't have to keep saying that if it works. When you say it works. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it didn't.
Yeah,
so,
and you have to stop saying it over and over.
Yeah, because
you're a tryhard.
We just can't believe you anymore.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you incel, bro. And the nations will know that the people of Israel went into exile for their sin because they were unfaithful to me.
Wait, what? Why are we talking about the exile? But why? They're back, and he already fixed that. And we're talking about Gog attacking them and how they're going to burn their shields for like 7 years.
It would only make sense if we're talking about Gog in place of Babylon.
Yeah.
Then he could be like, first my people were such buttholes that they, totally cheated on me with Egypt and Babylon and whatnot.
Right.
And then Babylon wiped them out because I said Babylon wiped them out. And then later on, I was like, "Aw, I'm lonely because nobody is sucking my big god dick. So I will gather them back together and put them back in the land, and then they will go get Babylon and kill them. And then I could be like, hey, Israel, remember when you cheated on me?
Right.
That would make sense if Gog is a representation of Babylon.
But it really wouldn't, though, if you fixed your Israelites, if God fixed his Israelites, right? Mm-hmm. And their hearts were perfect and wonderful and everything was great, then you don't have to bring that back up because they're already good.
But who are we talking about?
We're talking about a jealous, petty piece of shit God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a small puny
who
God.
can't even talk for himself.
Right.
So,
Exactly. The nations will know that the people of Israel went into exile for their sin because they were unfaithful to me.
Yeah.
So I hid my face from them and handed them over to their enemies, and they all fell by the sword.
Okay.
I dealt with them according to their uncleanness and their offenses, and I hid my face from them. Again, twice.
Okay.
Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Yeah.
I will now restore the fortunes of Jacob and will have compassion on all the people of Israel, and I will be zealous for my holy name. That's not love. You're
Right.
like, I am going to suck my own dick.
Yeah.
Like, you do that, but that is not proof of love.
But also, I thought we were talking at the beginning of this chapter how he had already brought the Israelites back.
Yeah.
And this is saying that he's not like solidifying the deal until, Gog of Magog is dead.
Yeah, I have
So
no
I
idea.
don't really get this, but okay.
It's all silly.
It is.
They will forget their shame and all the unfaithfulness they showed toward me when they lived in safety in their land with no one to make them afraid. When I have brought them back from the nations and have gathered them from the countries of their enemies, I will be proved holy through them in the sight of many nations. Then they will know that I am the Lord their God. For though I sent them into exile among the nations, I will gather them to their own land, not leaving any behind. I will no longer hide my face from them, for I will pour out my spirit on the people of Israel, declares the sovereign Lord. The end.
But just to make sure I point this out, I believe we actually did some research to where after the exile was over, there were still like upwards of like 1 million Jewish people still living in Egypt.
Yeah.
So he didn't bring them all back.
No.
In fact, there was quite a bit that he didn't bring back.
Well, that's a thing that is still yet to come.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. This is that whole why we're still looking for the lost tribes and that because it's prophecy. But yet, if there's anything that I could maybe touch on that is reasonable in this chapter, it's that the person that he's talking about, which is Gog of Magog, right? It only really makes sense if it was Babylon because of some of the phrasing they used in this chapter specifically.
Yeah.
And in the last chapter, actually, there were some references that kind of allude to the idea that this is Babylon that he's talking about coming back after the exile's over to try to reconquer them.
Yeah.
But because it's so vague and we can't really discern who they're talking about, it leaves it open to interpretation. And maybe that was done on purpose. I mean, maybe that was rewritten later as something because they're like, well, this never actually happened. We should probably rewrite this to make this something that might happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And that would make perfect sense.
Right. But they left some of the wording in, so it makes it unclear.
Right.
It makes it very not... I certainly believe that this is probably still referencing near future, much like the rest of Ezekiel.
Yes.
I just can't prove that because it's the way it's written.
Yeah. I don't think that it's like, 100 years from now or way far in the future because that's not how they roll. That's not what they've been doing.
Right. None of the prophets that we've come across thus far have been anything like there's no hint that it's going to be hundreds or even thousands of years off.
Most of them are like answering yes, no kind of questions.
Yeah.
And like, this is what we should do right now.
And I feel like the job of prophets in biblical times was more of a
advisory role. Advise the king.
Yeah. So they were able to assess the situation on the ground and say, this is what's probably going to happen. And yes, they couched it in a way that God is saying it because you can't, I believe, my feeling is this, you cannot as a person under a king talk to that person as though you're an equivalent, right? And you have to invoke something higher than yourself in order to relay the message to that king.
Right.
Because kings thought of themselves as the highest thing in the ground, in the land.
Yeah.
So you have to invoke something higher than yourself in order to have this conversation as an advisor to the king. And that's why gods exist probably in a large part with in relation to how these things get written down. These are probably more likely, how like the CIA has plans on what to do if this happens or that happens. Contingency plans for the safety of the United States, right? I feel like prophecies were more like contingency plans for kings.
Right.
Only
early
again,
days,
they had to talk to them as though they were getting the information from a god, because you can't be smarter than the king.
Right, because the king knows everything.
Right.
Or they pull out a Sharpie and draw on a weather map and,
Sure. And look, this is all just me hypothesizing what those things might be, but it makes sense to me. That
makes the most political sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I can get behind that idea. That
Same.
So that's why I said it. Yep. Again, we're not scholars. We're not academics.
No.
But
we don't know shit.
It doesn't hurt to ask these kind of questions, right? Like, I mean, we don't know, nobody knows what this fucking chapter's about. I mean, I basically searched it while we were in the middle of the chapter. Mm-hmm. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. It doesn't hurt to suppose, what if this is the case? What if that's the case, right? Yeah. And that's what I like doing. And I want to continue to do it. I would like to read this entire Bible story, but just only with politics and no God stuff. I would like to reread this Bible with an apologist nearby. Honestly, like I feel like we might do this project again at some point. Yeah. And maybe multiple times, just to do it with different takes, with different points of view, with, because if we sat here with an apologist at the same table as us and we're like, okay, what's your take on this? I would love to respond to that and say, and then sit here and question them and say, okay, not in an attacking way, just in a, I don't understand how you got to that conclusion. Yeah, like, right. Can you explain that further? Right. And I feel like those would turn into some really long conversations, though. Mm-hmm. So we'd have to do it very carefully, and maybe I don't know how we would do that, but I would find those conversations interesting. So would I. You'd have to find a Christian that would be willing to be questioned. Yeah. And that would actually be open to conversation openly. Well, and one that also is very versed in the Bible. Right. So, like, that's going to be a rare bird that we would find that would be willing to do all of those and spend time with us on top of that. So. Right. And be associated with an atheist podcast that drops F-bombs. Right. So there's all that's blocking us from doing that. But we got time to figure that out. We'll just make, if everybody out there just shares us, shares our post, shares our podcast, whatever, we can become like the most famous atheist Bible study out there. And then, we can like get some big names and we'll have some pull and we can do these things. So go share our shit. But only with the cool people. Well, no, share it with anybody. I don't give a fuck who listens to it. Yeah, but I mean, only cool people can come on our podcast. Oh, that's what I meant. Well, like, I mean, the people that come on our podcast are completely up to us. Yeah. So that's our decision. We're rambling way off fucking. You are. I am. So, I mean, we should probably just end this because I don't know what else I'm doing. No. All right. Okay, bye. No. That was Ezekiel chapter 39. Yes. Which means that we'll be back tomorrow with Ezekiel chapter 40. All right, now we can do it. Okay, bye. Husband. Wife. Do you remember what happened yesterday and where the hell we are today? Well, yesterday we read Ezekiel chapter 39. Sure as fuck did. And in that chapter, we were still talking about Gog and Magog and Gog of Magog and all the Gogs. And it was a bit Gog heavy. It was Goggy. Yeah, it was very Goggy. But God was like, I'm going to bring them against you, Israel, and I'm going to make them do this thing. And then I'm going to kill them all. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to kill the coastland people because that's my thing. I like to kill people. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so he was going to bury them all in like a really big pit. And by the numbers he was talking about, I would think that we would still be able to find this pit today, probably. The Dry Bones Valley? The Dry Bones Valley thing. No. It wasn't the Dry Bones was where the zombies, the Israelites were coming back. Right, and that was just a vision. That was it was a metaphor as to the, people coming back from Israel or whatever. You're right. I just wanted to say Valley Babylon, of Dry Bones. Yeah. No. This was they buried them in Haman Gog. Okay. And it was another place where they buried a bunch of fucking lot of dead people that God supposedly killed. Okay. And by the numbers he was talking about, you would think there'd still be, things that people would know about it today. You would think. Even thousands of years ago, the amount of people he killed should still have made it through the times is like, hey, there's like hundreds of thousands of people dead over here in this pit.
Lots of buried bones.
They had to excavate an entire fucking mountainside just to bury these fucks.
Yeah.
Remember that Twinkie Mountain I was talking about? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, that was Ezekiel chapter 39.
Yes.
Which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel chapter 40.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into Ezekiel chapter 40, or as I like to call him, Ezekiel.
Yes, which you stole from me, because, well, not the Easy Kyle. You stole my saying that it was Ezekiel.
Well, yeah, because you kept correcting me, and that I cannot stand for that.
Okay.
That will not stand.
So instead, you correct yourself now.
No, I just made it into this is what it's called, or as I like to call it.
Got it.
See?
Got it.
Yeah, no, okay. I owned it. That's all.
Okay.
I took it away from you.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Ezekiel chapter 40.
Yes.
Which I have to go into some notes before we start here.
Okay. Yeah.
So this final section, chapters 40.
Final section.
Of Ezekiel, chapters 40 through 48.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
They are referred to as the Torah of Ezekiel.
Okay.
And they're composed of Ezekiel's vision of a future temple.
Oh. Okay.
And
that's interesting.
So part of it is he's going to be giving some measurements.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not.
My God.
So we're going to get there.
What, he fucking Ezekiel read whatever book that was back in the day. It was, what? I don't know, Leviticus or something like that, where we were reading the measurements of the first temple, and he was like, if there's something that's missing from today's Bible, it's measurements for a temple. Here's
what happened. It's thought that no model of Solomon's temple had remained, and so to direct them in the dimensions, parts, order, and rules of the new temple, he was granting these instructions.
So this is like God dictating the instructions for the new temple through Ezekiel, since there were no previous instructions left over from Solomon.
Yes, and that's one reason why Ezekiel might have been so particular in the description of that, is to try to make it like the old one.
Right.
Okay.
It couldn't have been to solidify his place as a very important prophet.
Right.
That couldn't have been the case, right?
No, not at all.
No. I mean, if God's dictating the plans to the fucking new temple to you, you obviously are very important to that person, that thing, that entity.
One thing that's interesting is that the original instructions included all of these, like, decor.
Yeah.
Like the pomegranates and the gold and whatnot.
Right.
Ezekiel's lacks all that. It's inferior in magnificence on account of the poverty of the nation at the time. Huh. So it doesn't include all the pretty parts.
Well, that's interesting, because God's really hung up on his image, and you would think regardless of their poverty or not, he'd be like, he'd insist on having the best, most awesome temple on the planet, But no,
he knew his people didn't have all that.
All right.
That or the people just didn't have all that.
Yeah. That's probably, I would imagine they'd have a hard time getting the plans past the city planner if they didn't have enough funds to cover it. So,
right. And they were in no position, having just come out of exile, to, go raid somebody else for the gold. So not happening.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to read the first little verse here and then go back to my notes to give you a date.
Okay. Sure.
So Ezekiel chapter 40. In the 25th year of our exile, at the beginning of the year, on the 10th of the month, in the 14th year after the fall of the city, on that very day, the hand of the Lord was on me, and he took me there.
Took you there? Where's there?
I'll get there in a minute. Okay. So this date corresponds to about April 28th, 573 BCE.
Okay.
According to the Talmud, this date falls on the Day of Atonement, which is Yom Kippur.
Okay.
And marks the start of the 17th and last Jubilee year in history.
Okay.
What, now,
okay.
He did date it to where it would fall on a Jubilee year, but according to the Talmud, it was the last one in
So they
history.
didn't celebrate it after this.
Apparently.
That's interesting because that was a very important aspect of the earlier Jewish people when they were, these things that they celebrated and were important to them because that was like a renewing of their commitments and everything.
Right.
And so that's interesting.
Yep.
I would have imagined that they still, at some level, celebrated Jubilee today, but I guess that's not correct.
I guess not. I don't know.
Interesting.
Now, where he took them is, or where God took Ezekiel in a vision was to Israel.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, anyway, back to reading. In visions of God, he took me to the land of Israel and set me on a very high mountain on whose south side were some buildings that looked like a city.
Okay.
He took me there, and I saw a man whose appearance was like bronze. He was standing in the gateway with a linen cord and a measuring rod in his hand. The man said to me, "Son of man,
Yeah, mere human.
you fucking worm."
The man, this has got to be God, right? Hypothetically.
A bronze dude, gotta be God. Or
Right,
an
yeah.
angel of the Lord.
Well, and based on what he's saying things that God would say to Ezekiel. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Look carefully and listen closely and pay attention to everything I'm going to show you. This is the bronze man speaking
Right,
to Ezekiel,
right.
according to Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Pay attention to everything I'm going to show you, for that is why you have been brought here. Tell the people of Israel everything you see. So that's what he's doing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a wall completely surrounding the temple area. The length of the measuring rod in the man's hand was 6 long cubits, each of which was a cubit and a hand breadth.
It's interesting that they're using cubits here. When we read the flood story, they were using feet in place of cubits because they use cubits in other Bible translations for the measurement of the ark. So it's really interesting that they went back to cubits here.
You're talking about the translation. It's interesting that the translation is using cubits.
Yes, because in the same book that we're reading the same version right now, and they're saying cubits, whereas when we read Noah, the flood story before, they said
translation.
feet. The translation said feet.
Sorry, you were using pronouns, and so I wasn't sure what you were referring to.
Got it. Yeah. No, the flood story that we read earlier when we were doing this Bible read through, they used feet to describe
the translation.
The translation used feet to describe the measurements of the ark, which in other translations, those measurements were done in cubits because that's how I knew what a cubit was. I specifically remember this. And now that we're in Ezekiel, we're using cubits as opposed to feet in the same book.
In the same translation.
Yeah. So that's interesting to me. That's all.
From a translation.
From a translation perspective, yeah. You would think they'd be consistent with regard to how they did measurements, I guess. That's all.
I don't recall, so...
Real quick, I just did... I wanted to toss in here real quick with regard to Jubilee. It is not something that they still... I did a quick search, so it's not something they still celebrate as a culture right now, or anymore. Maybe, and this probably may have been the last one, possibly.
Okay.
But a lot of the reasons are practical, modern reasons, which is kind of funny, due to the practices that were in that thing, in that practice was forgiving debt and land redistribution, which those things tend not to fly when people are greedy. So,
we will not let you give up land. So no, you will not do that.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's a very disingenuous reason to get rid of a practice like that. You know, it was actually a very good practice to probably adhere to, I would imagine. It's in some regards,
sure.
But yeah, it's gone now because debt collectors want their money.
Right.
Yeah, you can't get away from that now.
Nope, not a bit.
Yeah.
So with regard to cubits, that's the part of the elbow to the wrist.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was the elbow to the tip of the finger, the tip of your middle finger.
I believe it's to the wrist and the palm of the hand, and then a hand breadth is the span of the hand through the extended middle finger.
Okay, a hand breadth?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Hand breadth.
Got it. Okay.
Because he said it was 6 cubits, each of which was a cubit and a hand breadth.
Okay, so a cubit is from the elbow to the tip of the middle finger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My mistake.
Just wanted to I thought that was the case, but I wasn't. When you said that, I was
read
like,
it wrong
what?
then.
Okay.
I apologize. And then, well, the hand breadth then is just almost like half of a cubit then.
Right. Yeah, it's probably just a smaller measurement to measure smaller spaces and stuff. So
anyway, he measured the wall. It was 1 measuring rod thick and 1 rod high.
Okay, so they had measuring rods. Okay, got it.
Then he went to the east gate. He climbed its steps and measured the threshold of the gate. It was 1 rod deep. The alcoves for the guards were 1 rod long and 1 rod wide, and the projecting walls between the alcoves were 5 cubits thick. And the threshold of the gate next to the portico facing the temple was 1 rod deep. Then he measured the portico of the gateway. It was 8 cubits deep, and its jambs were 2 cubits thick.
Okay.
I can't
this is boring.
I'm so sorry. The portico, which I do like the word portico.
Yeah,
portico.
Yeah.
And they also, some translations use the word vestibule.
Okay.
Which I like that word as well.
Sure.
The portico of the gateway faced the temple. Inside the east gate were 3 alcoves on each side. The 3 had the same measurements, and the faces of the projecting walls on each side had the same measurements. Like, I cannot picture this in any way whatsoever. It's too much. It's too many.
Yeah.
You know? But there are maps that you can find online if you Google.
Right.
If you are curious what the fuck this all comes to.
Yeah.
Then he measured the width of the entrance of the gateway. It was 10 cubits, and its length was 13 cubits. In front of each alcove was a wall 1 cubit high, and the alcoves were 6 cubits square.
Okay.
Then he measured the gateway from the top of the rear wall of one alcove to the top of the opposite one. The distance was 25 cubits from one parapet opening to the opposite one.
Got it. Okay.
I just can't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's really fucking boring. That's for sure.
He measured along the faces of the projecting walls all around the inside of the gateway, 60 cubits. The measure was up to the portico facing the courtyard. The measurement was up to the portico facing the courtyard.
Okay.
The distance from the entrance of the gateway to the far end of its portico was 50 cubits. Oh, I see you pulled up a picture.
I pulled up something that somebody says is what it might look like, I guess. So, yeah, okay. I don't know.
It's pretty.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Uh-huh.
The alcoves and the projecting walls inside the gateway were surmounted by narrow parapet openings all around, as was the portico. The openings all around faced inward. I am probably going to speed up just to get through the measurements because I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Who cares?
Right, yeah.
The faces of the projecting walls were decorated with palm trees. Then he brought me into the outer court. There I saw some rooms and a pavement that had been constructed all around the court. There were 30 rooms along the pavement.
Wow.
It abutted the sides of the gateways and was as wide as they were long. This was the lower pavement.
Okay.
Then he measured the distance from the inside of the lower gateway to the outside of the inner court. It was 100 cubits on the east side as well as on the north.
Okay.
Then he measured the length and width of the north gate leading into the outer court. I just can't.
No, I mean, look, the only reason I can see that this might be something that's in the Bible is because it's showing that Ezekiel is prominent enough to receive the instructions to build the new, the new
Jerusalem temple.
Right?
Yeah.
But other than that, with regard to leaving it in there for modern Bible readers, it really has no significance at all to anybody at this point, because it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I could see apologists saying, oh, it does matter, though. It's giving us that detail. It's so rich in detail, and that lends to its authenticity and to show how God was in every single detail and blah, blah, blah. Like, I can see them being very excited about the most boring little detail. Yeah. Because
if God really wanted to prove his significance and his power, he'd just snap his fingers and create a fucking temple, wouldn't he?
I mean,
that would be a lot more believable as a power move than having them build it.
Yes, but, and I'm going to push back on that a little bit, because the people would not respect as much something that just appeared before them as opposed to something that they built themselves.
Right, but except for the fact that they haven't actually seen specifically any of God's handiwork directly, right? No, it's all said through Ezekiel or Jeremiah or Isaiah or whoever.
Right.
Right. These are the people that are telling them that God's miraculously doing these things by sending armies against them and whatever he's doing.
No, I totally agree with you on that. I'm just saying, it would be cool for them to see something of God's miracles.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with you there. Its alcoves, 3 on each side, its projecting walls, and its portico had the same measurements as those of the first gateway. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide.
Maybe he could just make like a bathroom miraculously appear.
Oh my God.
They let them do the whole thing, but he makes one of the bathrooms or something. Like, snaps his fingers, there's the bathroom.
Or maybe they finish doing all the work and then he pretties it up.
Yeah.
Since, they're a poor
Make him
nation.
do the work, but, I mean, just do something. Like, it's your house, dude. Like, we're building this for you.
That's true.
Like, just add a little personal flair to it.
We just want some gold pomegranates like we used to have.
Yeah, just, you're God, man.
Yeah.
Do something.
Its openings, its portico, and its palm tree decorations had the same measurements as those of the gate facing east. 7 steps led up to it with its portico opposite them. There was a gate on the inner court facing the north gate, just as there was on the east.
Okay.
He measured from one gate to the opposite one. It was 100 cubits. Then he led me to the south side, and I saw the south gate. He measured its jamb and its portico, and they had the same measurements as the others. The gateway and its portico had narrow openings all around, like the openings of the others. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. 7 steps led up to it with its portico opposite them. It had palm tree decorations on the faces of the projecting walls on each side.
Okay. Yeah.
Love me some palm tree decorations.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
The inner court also had a gate facing south, and he measured from this gate to the outer gate on the south side. It was 100 cubits. Then he brought me into the inner court through the south gate, and he measured the south gate. It had the same measurements as the others. Its alcoves, its projecting walls, and its portico had the same measurements as the others.
I'm shocked.
The gateway and its portico had openings all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide.
This is a really, bad way to end Ezekiel. Like, we had zombies. We had
the dry bone valley.
Angels with hundreds of eyeballs.
And wheels and chariots and stuff.
Like, it just... Yeah. And now we're building a damn temple.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Yep.
And you know what? They're not this is 25 years into the exile, right? So hypothetically, we're not even going to get to this for another 40 or 50 years.
Right.
So why is he dictating the plans now? You should wait till later and then give it to somebody that's going to be around at that point. I'm just saying that would make more sense. So
I can't answer that for you.
Yeah.
I'm not God.
No, I know.
Who knows his ways? They are mysterious.
I'm beginning to believe that nobody does. That's my.
The porticos of the gateways around the inner court were 25 cubits wide and 5 cubits deep.
Mm-hmm.
Its portico faced the outer court. Palm trees decorated its jambs, and 8 steps led up to it. What I'm really upset about is that one of those sentences was in parentheses, and I was so bored.
You forgot about parentheses.
I forgot to do parentheses voice.
Yeah, that's sad. That is sad.
I can't bring myself to go back and read it in
it's
parentheses
just fucking
voice
plans.
because it was just measurements.
Just everybody just imagine that wife just did a parentheses voice, and we'll move along.
Here, I'll do a parentheses voice that's not in parentheses.
Okay, all right, yeah.
This is not parentheses.
There you go. Now we got some parentheses voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he brought me to the inner court on the east side, and he measured the gateway. It had the same measurements as the others.
No way.
Its alcoves, its projecting walls, and its portico had the same measurements as the others.
Unbelievable.
The gateway and its portico had openings all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. Its portico faced the outer court. Palm trees decorated the jambs on either side, and 8 steps led up to it. The other ones had only 7.
No, the ones on the inside or whatever. There was one. There was one with 8 already too.
Okay.
Yeah. This would be a good time to remind everybody that I realize that this is really fucking boring, right?
Yeah.
But if you're one of the fans, then I know you're out there. I know there's a lot of you out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're one of those that is just here to read the whole Bible with us,
that's what we're doing. We're just getting through it.
That's what we're doing.
We're reading every word.
We're doing the best we can here with what we got, and what we got is a bunch of shit in this chapter. So I don't know what else to say about it other than we'll get through this eventually.
We'll get through this together, guys. Keep going. Then he brought me to the north gate and measured it. It had the same measurements as the others, as did the alcoves, its projecting walls, and its portico. Yeah. And it had openings all around. It was 50 cubits long and 25 cubits wide. Its portico faced the outer court. Palm trees decorated the jambs on either side, and 8 steps led up to it.
Okay.
A room with a doorway was by the portico in each of the inner gateways where the burnt offerings were washed.
Ah.
That's fun.
Okay, yeah.
Got me some burnt offerings up in this bitch.
Right.
In the portico of the gateway were 2 tables on each side on which the burnt offerings, sin offerings, and guilt offerings were slaughtered. By the outside wall of the portico of the gateway, near the steps at the entrance of the north gateway, were 2 tables, and on the other side of the steps were 2 tables. So, there were 4 tables on one side of the gateway and 4 on the other, 8 tables in all, on which the sacrifices were slaughtered.
Okay.
I love the word slaughter.
Yeah.
There were also 4 tables of dressed stone for the burnt offerings, each a cubit and a half long, a cubit and a half wide, and a cubit high.
It is interesting to me how they're referring this as, like, in the past tense. There were, there are, there, you know, like, those are, we're talking about this in a time frame.
He's seeing a vision, though. So he's like, I'm describing what I saw in my vision.
So God's not only taking him to Jerusalem, he's taking him forward in time even.
Yeah.
He's time traveling in his vision as well as traveling distances across, you know, the land.
Yeah.
In his visions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, that's why he told, God told Ezekiel, tell the people what you saw. And so he's saying, this is what I saw. I saw this, and it measured that, and then it measured that way. So, yeah, it would be in past tense.
At it. Okay.
So,
all right.
It tracks.
Yeah, no, I guess I just mostly find it interesting that God is, like, time traveling with his prophets. That's all.
Why not?
At least in visions, you know.
It totally makes sense.
It doesn't, but okay.
I love a time traveling prophet.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
On them were placed the utensils for slaughtering the burnt offerings and the other sacrifices, and double-pronged hooks, each a handbreadth long, were attached to the walls all around. The tables were for the flesh of the offerings. Outside the inner gate, within the inner court, were 2 rooms, one at the side of the north gate and facing south, and another at the side of the south gate and facing north.
Okay.
He said to me, the room facing south is for the priests who guard the temple, and the room facing north is for the priests who guard the altar. These are the sons of Zadok, who are the only Levites who may draw near to the Lord to minister before him. Then he measured the court. It was square, 100 cubits long and 100 cubits wide, and the altar was in front of the temple. And he brought me to the portico of the temple and measured the jambs of the portico. They were 5 cubits wide on either side. The width of the entrance was 14 cubits, and its projecting walls were 3 cubits wide on either side. The portico was 20 cubits wide and 12 cubits from front to back. It was reached by flight of stairs, and there were pillars on each side of the jambs. The end.
You know, do you remember that, wasn't it, I forget what book it was in, but we talked about at some point how stairs leading up to the temples was a bad thing.
Yeah, that was at the beginning, because then you'd see up their dresses.
Right. And now in this new temple, God is literally dictating that they make stairs to go up to the temple. Stairs. Do you think that this means that they've invented underwear since then?
Probably.
I mean, I just can't think of any other reason as to why it would be okay to have stairs now versus then, unless maybe this temple is now only exclusively for men or something along those lines, possibly. But it is weird that the direction of the earlier Bible is directly conflicting with the way that they built this one with regard to the stairs.
That is true. I forgot about that till you mentioned it, but yeah, I remember it now.
Right.
Stairs good, stairs bad.
Right. Yeah. I just find that odd.
We have stairs leading up to our front porch.
We sure do. And
we have stairs leading to our back porch.
Yes, we have that as well. Yeah, so I really have nothing else to add with regard to this chapter. So yeah, let's. That was Ezekiel chapter 40.
It was
very, very anticlimactic end to the week.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that.
We can't take responsibility for what's in the Bible.
Right? No, definitely, definitely not. Yeah. But we will be back tomorrow's Saturday. We'll be back with our
Q&A Saturday.
And we still have yet to get a
Patreon.
Yes, so we will get that out this weekend, hypothetically.
I'm working on it
as well.
I'm working on it, guys.
And then I will get our weekly wrap up together and put out, and then we'll be back on Monday with
Ezekiel chapter 41.
All right, we'll see you then.
Bye. Husband,
wife,
do you know what today is?
Well, today is Saturday, which means that we're doing our
Q&A Saturday.
That's right. And what are we Qing and Aing today?
We are covering Ezekiel chapters 36 through 40, and we will learn about sticks and Mormons and zombies and Gog.
Wow. Wow. Gog Magog?
Gog of Magog.
Goggly Gog.
Goggles.
Sorry, I just that name. I love that name. Gog.
Gotta get a Gog.
I don't know why. I just like it. So anyway, we got some good questions. We got some good answers. We got some stuff. All right. Well, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, we are hopping into our Q&A Saturday, covering sticks and Mormons and zombies and Gog.
Sticks and what?
Mormons.
Mm-hmm. Well, how the fuck did we get on Mormons?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Did I miss that in the intro? Did I skip right over? Did I gloss over that?
You did.
Shit.
Yep.
I didn't know.
Yep.
Okay, so
Mormons. Mormons, huh?
I'm kind of intrigued now.
Right?
Yeah.
So, do you remember in Ezekiel chapter 37 when God was like, yo, take 2 sticks?
Yes, and rub them together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rub them sticks together into one.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm just going to read the verses.
Sure.
And then tell you how that relates to Mormonism.
Okay.
Because it's big.
Okay.
In the Mormon world.
Got it. Yeah.
So, verse 16 and 17, Son of man, take a stick of wood and write on it, belonging to Judah and the Israelites associated with him. Then take another stick of wood and write on it, belonging to Joseph, that is, to Ephraim, and all the Israelites associated with him. Mm-hmm. Join them together into one stick so that they will become one in your hand. And we all understand that to mean that at some point in the future, the 2 nations will be united again.
Right.
So, okay, the Mormons, they think that parts of the Bible have the story right, but that Greeks and other translators fucked up large blocks of the Bible.
Okay.
And so that the Bible has a lot wrong. Okay?
Sure.
But
well, I mean, I guess, and this is, I don't want to be fair to Mormons.
Right.
But like, I suppose if Christians already are like, well, we're attributing this from the Old Testament to Jesus, right? Mm-hmm. Who's to stop the Mormons from being like, well, we're going to attribute this to whatever the fuck we want. So,
and they do.
Yeah.
But they think that the Book of Mormon and the Bible and other extra biblical sources are all different pieces of one great document from God's word.
Okay. Sure.
And so these particular verses right here in Ezekiel are parts that they take very seriously as proof that what they're saying about the Mormons and the Bible
we're speaking
is
from a
good.
little bit of illiteracy with regard to Mormonism here.
Yes, so, apologies.
Yeah.
And all that.
Right.
So the Mormon teaching is that the sticks refer to 2 scrolls. They've decided that those words mean scrolls. They don't in Hebrew, but the Mormons have just decided that. Okay. And according to the convoluted interpretation of this, dare I say, cult, Ezekiel was prophesying that one day the Book of Mormon, which is the stick or scroll of Ephraim, would be joined to the Bible, the stick or scroll of Judah, to form the complete revelation of God.
Okay, so where does I'm curious, but I think the New Testament is sort of part of their religion too, right?
I honestly have no idea. I did not want to get more into it because I know we plan to look into Mormon stuff and their Book of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah,
at some
well,
point.
I mean, that would be fun, I think, yeah. But I guess what I'm struggling with here is that I guess, at the time that this prophecy was done, the Old Testament wasn't really fully rendered yet, first of all.
Right.
And moreover...
Mormonism was not created until the 1800s.
Right, well, there's that. But then, even with regard to the Old Testament, there's the New Testament still. Mm-hmm. And then, if you're a Mormon, there's the Mormon stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So you have 3 documents that you have to mend together. And you're saying that these sticks are scrolls to mend 2 things together, where you're seeing 3 and you're trying to pretend it's 2.
Yes.
I don't get it, but okay.
They see the Old Testament and New Testament as one text.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's...
one text.
Definitely not the case.
The Bible.
That's definitely not the case.
Right. So, I mean, there's just so much wrong with the Mormon tradition. I can't even.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's very problematic, and the founder and that we could go on.
Sure.
Just on what I do know, I can go on for probably the next hour.
Yes. But they do believe that is saying that the Bible is validating the Book of Mormon, because one day the 2 will be joined, and Ezekiel is proving it. By saying join these 2 scroll sticks together. But again, the word translates to sticks.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know why this, with regard to how this is tripping me up, it is tripping me up a little bit more than what normal Bible stuff does. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, the Bible trips itself up just fine.
Sure. It doesn't need help.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So Mormons believe that in the latter days, which means towards the end, similar to what the Jewish tradition might call the world to come, the 2 have been joined together. The Bible and the Book of Mormon will, as one, form the bulk of Mormon scripture. So
okay, sure.
That's that.
Got it.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. There's sticks and Mormons out of the way.
Okay? Yeah.
So
that was interesting. I'm glad to know it.
Yeah, it wasn't a question, but when I came upon it, I was like, "Hang on, what?"
When and if we ever dig into the Mormon side of things, that'll be something worth knowing. So
what's interesting is that seems to be only a very small thing. It's not even one of their main facets of their belief system.
Well, I'm sure that there are many places in the Bible where they're like, well, we have to figure out a way to tie this into here and make it look like we're relevant over here. So let's use this to make it. They probably have a whole list of things to tie their religion into what Christianity is, so that it makes sense to someone insofar as these things make sense.
They consider themselves Christians, although Christians do not consider Mormons to be Christians.
Right.
Because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Their belief systems are just so not the same. They're 2 different kinds of cults.
Yeah. That's where I struggle, except for that, I think the reason that Mormonism has a worse connotation is that they kind of act like a cult. They basically took over a fucking state, and you are not allowed to leave them. If you leave them, your family banishes you. It's a whole horrible situation for a lot of people.
It is. So. For those not in the U.S., we're referring to the state of Utah.
Yes, sorry.
And Brigham Young University, because Brigham Young was one of the early leaders of the movement.
Right.
And again, this religion was created in the 1800s. And by 1800s, I'm not saying BCE. I'm saying the 1800s, only a couple hundred years ago.
Right.
Those 1800s. Yeah. So very interesting. And, they also were big on polygamy. And whereas I think that they've outlawed it or banned it or something, they still do polygamy non-sanctioned through legal means, but they
Yep.
still refer to themselves as like wives and sister wives, and you know, man gets to marry lots of women's and they have lots of babies.
Yeah. I just think that there's this whole other thing where like I think it was Joseph Smith that was the founder. He had these things called like seer stones, and like he literally, I think he had to put his face into them or into something, and so he couldn't write. So he had people. He was dictating these words to somebody, and they were writing it down. Yeah. And these seer stones were like made of gold or something. They were some sort of like, there's this whole thing.
It's very weird.
And it's just really crazy. It's really crazy.
It's very weird.
But like these the golden tablet things or whatever, they are nowhere to be found from what I understand.
Of course. So much like the Ark of the Covenant.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, every cult has its flaw. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, but let's move on to verse 24.
Okay.
Of the same chapter.
Yeah.
My servant David will be king over them, and they will all have one shepherd. Okay. So we were like, hang on, what? David?
Yeah.
So there is controversy among Christians as to whether or not this is David or Jesus or some other dude named
Line
David.
of David or whatever.
Yeah. They're like, there is no consensus.
Right. I think that you can't have consensus because that's very unclear.
Right. But I just assumed that like most Christians kind of believe XYZ. Like I just assumed that the church, whatever that means, put forth, this is what it is. And that the majority of them believe it, except for maybe a few who actually read the Bible and studied it a little bit and were like, hang on.
Yeah.
I just assumed that there was an answer, but it's just interesting. There's not. Most commentators believe that the many references in Ezekiel to David is really a reference to the Messiah, the son of David, fulfilled in Jesus Christ. So many of them, most of them even, do believe, I guess, that it's Jesus.
Yeah.
But
that would be my guess as to what most people believe. So.
But there are still several who say we can simply observe that if God did not intend David, he wouldn't have said it. So there is nothing in these texts themselves that demand that it is the Messiah and not David himself. So there are Christian apologists who actually read it and say, you know, hey, it doesn't say Jesus and it doesn't say line of David. It says David.
Right.
Clearly, more than once.
Yeah.
So, which is I appreciate.
If you're going to be bringing people back to dead in some later time in the future, wouldn't it make just as much sense to bring back David as it would to bring back Jesus?
Sure.
Right? Like, I mean, why does it have to be, why couldn't it be both? Why couldn't it be him and whatever?
There are some who say it's going to be David and Jesus and Elijah.
Sure.
And I think there's another one that they've talked about, but I can't remember.
Right.
Because I don't care a lot. Because, I mean, come on. How many saviors can you have in one religion?
Sure.
Come on.
Right.
So, anyway, I just thought it was interesting that whereas, yes, many of them, even maybe most of them, do believe that it's Jesus, that there is a controversy. Like, it's not just all decided.
Yeah.
So that was cool to me.
Well, and again, I think that, you know, when you get right down to it, the reason that there are so many denominations and arguments when it comes to religion is not so much because of people like us, the atheists. It's because, and traditionally, it's because religious groups have argued over what these things mean in the Bible, and for centuries and you know, millennia, and that's just how these differences have caused splits in churches for years, and that's how we end up with all these different groups.
Right.
So it makes sense to me that there is not, like, people want to say that the general idea that Christians all agree on this general idea of what the story entails. Fine. But you all disagree on a lot of it too.
Right. You might have like the Jesus was born in Bethlehem to a virgin.
Right.
And Joseph was his carpentry earth daddy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you guys all have that part down, but like all the other stuff, the history and the non-main story.
Right.
And y'all don't know what you're talking about.
And I find that inability to solidify on a single message is what allows for, like, I think that this is what allows for a lot of people in the world, and especially in the U.S., to call themselves just kind of blanket Christians, right? We don't give a fuck what denomination you're talking about. We just believe in God and Christ and whatever. This generalized story, because they don't really give a fuck which one is correct. They're just like, yeah, Christ.
Sure.
You know?
I mean, Christ was born to a virgin. He is the magical Son of God. And he died and was resurrected.
Right.
You're supposed to believe those main tenets to be considered a Christian.
Well, I think the reason that a lot of people just call themselves a Christian and don't ascribe to a specific philosophy is because that idea that there are all these denominations and are all these different ideas kind of takes away from the ability to view Christianity as correct, right? It can't be correct if all these different Christians view it differently and and think that other ones are wrong.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't work.
I wish that they would be like, well, this is what we think, but only because of X, Y, and Z, but it's just as plausible for the people over there who think blah, 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 blah. Like, that would be cool if they could, like, acknowledge that, oh, we don't think that we necessarily have it right, you know?
Yeah.
Like
discussions, like, you know, like we should have, round tables where you are discussing why and how, and that would be an interesting community to be a part of, right? If you're all like, you shouldn't really, I don't think you should split apart. You should fucking hash it out, you know? Like talk about it.
Like the way the Jewish tradition is to question and to write these not extra biblical, but, you know, the outside, like the Mishnah and I forget what the other ones are, but the writings that support and ask questions and explain and give thoughts. Yeah. You know, I think that would be cool. Like, I admire that.
Right.
And just a little bit of fucking humbleness.
Well, and mostly what I hear from people is that, you know, their pastors and their churches are not open to being questioned about things that are, if they don't know the answer, they don't want to talk about it. Right. You know, like that's pretty much how it works.
And you're the devil for asking.
Right.
And the devil put himself in your mouth.
And again, I think that takes away from the ability to believe in this religion, because anybody who is that defensive over being wrong is probably not very solid in their belief of being right.
Right. Exactly. All right. So now we're going to skip to Ezekiel chapter 38. And we're going to talk more about Gog. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to read a few verses, 2, 5, and 6.
All right.
Son of man, set your face against Gog of the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And then skip ahead to verse 5. Persia, Cush, and Put will be with them, all with shields and helmets. Also Gomer with all its troops, and Beth Togarmah from the far north with all its troops, the many nations with you.
And that's why we were thinking like it sounds more like Babylon, because they're talking about the north and what have you there.
Right, but I'm going to take that back.
Oh,
because here's something that we forgot to take into account.
Sure.
This is a future.
Yes.
This is a prophecy
of
things
to come,
way far to come.
Yeah.
And the way that they phrased it was very much the words that they used in the original Hebrew was not like in the near future. It was in the very far future.
Okay.
And it is supposed to be after God has reunited all of Israel and Judah together as a nation, and they are one. So
but some of those ideas of the reunification of Israel were depending on who you're reading and what book you're in, but like even Ezekiel and Jeremiah, some of those ideas of reunification were happening in the return from exile from Babylon.
This is far after that, though.
Okay.
Because
I'm just saying that, you know, if we're talking about that.
No, I hear what you're saying, but it's not the same because at this point, the northern tribe of Israel has been gone for hundreds of years at this point.
Okay.
So they're gone. They're scattered, smothered, covered, wherever, swallowed up.
Sure.
Okay. So when they talk about the Babylonian exile ending and the people of Judah coming back to the land of Israel or wherever, they're talking just about Judah and whoever else they can find. This is different. That is after the Babylonian exile ends in the near future.
But some of the wording, though, with regard to the Babylonian exile ending, does indicate that he's going to pull his people from all the different areas to bring them all back to Israel. So, I mean, it could be read to think of it as him bringing back all the tribes of Israel after the Babylonian exile, because he's going to change their hearts and bring them back to Israel. So, I mean, I see what you're saying. It didn't actually happen, so we have to look at it from a far off perspective, basically.
Right.
But I feel like there is some room to interpret it as it could have been. The return from the Babylonian exile.
It could, except for the word choices in the original Hebrew. Pointed to a far distant future.
Got it.
Not the near future of the end of our Babylonian exile.
Okay.
And I don't know Hebrew. I'm pulling this from what I read. This is what scholars are saying. Okay.
All right.
So let me read you some of my notes. Okay.
Yep.
Magog, the land, not Gog and Magog, which is a different thing. This is Gog of Magog. Okay. So Magog, the land, is identified by early historians as the land of the Scythians, which I think I mentioned when we were reading this chapter. A mountainous region around the Black and Caspian Seas. And this position is generally accepted by most historians and scholars at this point. The data, though sparse, could imply that the cities of Meshesh and Tubal refer to geographical areas or countries in eastern modern Turkey, southwest of Russia, and northwest of Iran.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, unlike the Egyptians, Assyrians, and Babylonians with whom Judah had frequent contact over the centuries, right? The peoples in the distant north were shrouded in mystery. And by distant north, I don't mean like Babylonian north. I mean north of those guys' north.
Got it. Yeah.
So as the stories about them kind of trickled down, they became like the boogeyman, like the giants from afar kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So the reports of these mysterious groups that filtered down spoke of wild peoples, brutal and barbaric. And this combination of mystery and brutality made Gog and his confederates perfect symbols of the archetypal enemy rising against God and his people. So there was some like folklore into it that one day we're going to be together again. Yay! But then we'll have this one final battle. And this final battle is supposed to be Gog leading all of these various nations, and that is supposed to occur around the end of days.
So it's still very interesting to me, because this is a very localized version of end of days, right? They're taking this tribe that is not really that far away.
It's not a tribe.
Well,
that's another thing. I'll get there in a minute, but it's several nations who all fall under Gog.
All right. So several nations are up there who are not really, no one interacts with them. They're kind of a mythological place out there, because they're not well known by the Israelites or the people in these areas, right?
They're off the flat earth, if you will.
Right. But in the grand scheme of history, they aren't that far removed from where the Israelites are, and they're pretty near to this whole, God thing that's happening down there in Israel, right? And various other places, but Israel, right? And so this whole end of world theme is based still on this very localized area.
Well, and there's another reason for that too. There is another term that refers to, and I forget which chapter this was out of. I kind of glossed over it, but now that we're talking about it, it's relevant.
Yeah.
So I wish I'd written it down. Don't I do this like every weekend?
Yeah.
There's a word that in one of these chapters refers to Israel as the center of the earth. And we were like, what? You mean the center of like that little area?
Right.
But they refer to it as the navel of the world.
Sure.
And so they've turned it into, this is all we know of the planet right here. So this is the world, to, oh, no. This is not just what all we know. It's important because
we say so. Yeah.
Because that's what we knew at first. And everything else is extraneous, because kind of like how Earth is the most important planet in the whole universe.
Right.
Because
yeah,
we live here.
until we discovered more, we thought that the Earth was all, we were the center of everything, right?
Exactly.
And this is how these people viewed their area of the world at that time.
And they still kind of look at it that way, though, as Israel is the navel, the center from which all things flowed.
Sure. But we are attributing, the power, we're attributing things that this God who created all of the world, all of the universe, all of the stars, we're attributing things to end of days, and none of it goes outside of this small circle-ish area where we're talking about. And it just doesn't mean a whole lot to anybody if you actually take in the information that they're giving us, right?
Right.
They're giving us the information and letting us know that this whole thing is meaningless at this point, because they couldn't see any further than this. And if God is really giving them the message, he's giving them the message, and they're either not writing it down correctly, which it's still questionable, or they're not getting any message and they're just making up stories. And that's more likely the case, because it just is like, this is all the stories are very localized and very not, they cannot account beyond what they know.
Exactly.
And if you were talking to a God, your God would be able to tell you to write down something that would be able to account. He could prove with one or two words that he knew about the Native Americans, or he could prove with one or two words that he was aware of people in Japan, or, like whatever.
Or evolution.
Any number of things could have just, like, it could have been a spoiler, right? Like, just like a fucking little side note for somebody 1,000 years later to be like, oh, dude knew what he was talking about, man. Like, look at that. Yeah.
Like, he could have said, at some point, y'all gonna need some vaccinations. Get them. Like, that would be cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then the Christians would be like, oh, we're supposed to get vaccinated.
Right.
Oh, okay. So we don't want measles reprisal.
Right.
Cool.
But that's why I struggle with this being the quote unquote word of God.
Sure.
It's not the word of God. If it was the word of God, you'd be writing it down as he's saying it. And if it was actually a God, he'd be a lot smarter than this.
Yes. I totally 100% agree with you. I'm just trying to explain.
I know. I'm going off.
When they're talking about Gog, it is an end of days kind of. And the end of days, yes, you're right, is centralized to Israel area.
Sure.
Okay. Yep. The verses may tell of a coming northern confederacy of nations. So confederacy of nations, meaning more than one.
Sure.
About the Black and Caspian seas with Persia and North Africa, who will invade the promised land after Israel's restoration to it. These verses create the impression that Gog is an imperial power with vast military resources. Coming from the far north, Gog also had allies to the west in Persia, to the south in Ethiopia, and to the east in Libya. Okay. And
that's interesting.
The number of, this is so cool to me, the number of nations, if you like add up all the ones, there are 7. One might say a 7-nation army. Yes, I did say that.
Huh.
I think that might be where they actually got that
really?
from.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I'd have to look that up, but I was wait, a 7-nation army, huh?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Gomer is one of those places that I mentioned in the verse 6. And most regard Gomer as a people from Cappadocia in modern Turkey. And the house of Togarmah is often regarded as the Armenian people to the north of Israel.
Okay.
So that's another thing is all of these nations are coming from every direction, not just north. Gog is coming from the north, but all of these other nations are coming from every direction surrounding Israel.
Got it. Okay.
They're just all being led by Gog, who is like,
sure,
we have the numbers, look at us. So
and we surround you.
Yeah, we can totally loot you now.
Got it.
So
okay.
That's why I think maybe when we were like, oh yeah, they're probably talking about Babylon, that makes the most sense. I think we kind of had it wrong, even though none of it makes any fucking sense.
Sure. I did a quick search just because I was curious when you mentioned it, but Seven Nation Army, it's from Jack White. When he was a child, he actually misheard the words "the Salvation Army" as the Seven Nation Army.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious!
So, and it stuck with them, and he just used it as the song title. So
wow,
it was not based on this.
No,
but it could have been. I thought that was interesting. So,
it could have been.
Yeah,
I put that together though.
Right.
Seven Nation Army.
Right.
Cool. All right, so now we are finally moving on to Ezekiel chapter 39.
Okay.
Okay, and this will be the last little bit.
Okay.
Okay. The first two verses I'm going to read. Son of man, prophesy against Gog and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I'm against you, Gog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn you around and drag you along. I will bring you from the far north and send you against the mountains of Israel.
Sure.
So, and I don't know if you remember this, but when we hit chapter 39, we were like, dude, you already said all this in chapter 38. Like, it was just like a rehash of everything.
Right.
So in Hebrew literature, it was common to give an account and then to repeat it to give emphasis and then add a few additional details. Like
okay.
Of exaggeration or whatever.
Yeah.
As such, the overthrow of Gog and his forces is here retold in different word choice and in fuller detail. And again, this is typical of Hebrew poetry, and particularly in poetic oracles such as appear in the Bible.
Okay.
Repetition is common, and the writing often reverts to previous statements and enlarges on them, even though the result is to destroy all sense of consecutive arrangement.
I mean, that pretty much describes the Bible.
Yes.
So,
yes. Yeah. That's why I included that, because I was like, oh, so you did it on purpose? Y'all so dumb. So I thought that would be a good place to end.
Yeah. No, that's good. I really enjoyed a lot of that information that we went over today. So that was a good Q&A, I feel. I don't really have anything else to add. Did you have anything else to add before we get out of here?
Bum 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 bum.
And before we get a knock for whatever the things are where they copyright things, yeah.
Really, you could even tell what that was.
I'm sure somebody. Who knows?
Whatever.
I don't know. Anyway. So that was our Q&A for this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be back tomorrow on Sunday with
Patreon.
And then I will get our weekly wrap up out, and we'll be back on Monday with
Ezekiel chapter 41.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you know what we're doing today?
Well, something that is way overdue, but it is a Sunday. We're doing this on the correct day, so there's that. So what are we doing?
Patreon.
Yeah, that's right. And what are we Patreoning today?
Well, you and I were having a conversation about curiosity and empathy and how those two kind of go together, and you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And one leads inevitably to the other.
It was in a recent episode, I think. I can't remember exactly which one, but yeah, we were talking about it on the air, I think. So.
I don't think it was on the air. I thought it was after.
Well, yeah, that could be.
Anyway.
I get them confused, so whatever.
I know. But regardless.
At some point recently, we were talking about this.
We were having this talk, and then we started kind of talking about how atheists versus Christians have those traits. Or don't.
Right.
Yeah. And just thought we'd kind of maybe talk about that a bit more, expand on it, and bring it around, you know?
No, and I mean, not to jump too far into the conversation right off the bat, but I mean, I think that a lot of atheists know or have a sense that they are more compassionate and caring than a lot of Christians are.
Oh, God damn it. We just have to turn this whole thing off now.
Just on a generalized, overall, feeling as to how people relate to one another and other human beings. That's all I'm saying. So,
yeah.
All right. So you ready to talk about empathy and curiosity?
Yes.
Let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, so we are hopping into our Patreon.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd start off by talking about curiosity.
Yeah, I like curiosity.
It killed a cat.
It's kind of why we do this podcast, right? We were curious about the Bible.
True.
Yeah.
Curiosity is a strong desire to know, learn, or understand something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's definitely what curiosity is.
I like to learn. I want to know what that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think I have a very strong desire to understand the world around me. And I better than anybody that when something comes up, I want to know more than just what the headline is.
Mm-hmm.
I dig into it and I want to find everything out about it. And
I'm the same way.
It's to an annoying extent sometimes.
Yes, I'm the same way, and it is to an annoying extent. And in school, it always got me in trouble because I would ask all the wrong questions that the teachers didn't want to answer because I understand now that they didn't have the answer or it was beyond the scope of the lesson and just like not what they were there to do.
I'm just trying to imagine what both of us would have been like in Sunday school.
Oh, my goodness. I do not envy any teacher of any subject that would have had us both as students.
Right? Yeah.
Curiosity is also the impetus behind exploration, innovation, and learning.
Yeah.
Which
all things that I care very much about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I wish that we would hurry up and do more space stuff.
I agree. I feel like the reason that we started doing space stuff was for military reasons. Mm-hmm. And I wish that more of what we were curious about and explored was more centered around just pure curiosity and scientific knowledge.
I was going to say that, like not trying to show up Russia or China, but like just to see what's out there and wow, woo, wee.
Why can't we all be in awe about what surrounds us as a minuscule dot in the grand scheme of the universe?
Or if we have to have a reason, maybe it could be a backup plan for if the Earth gets demolished.
Sure.
Does it have to be out of greed?
Right. It could be out of self-preservation.
Right. Does it have to be out of greed or showing up another country?
Right.
Couldn't it just be a combined Earth effort to save itself and see what's out there?
The answer right now is no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
No. Curiosity fuels empathy by motivating us to pay attention to others' experiences and perspectives.
Yeah. I agree with that. That was part of our discussion that we were having. And, I don't think that you are... There are a lot of things from my childhood that I didn't understand that because of curiosity, I do now understand and have empathy for. Mm-hmm. And one of the larger things from my childhood that I didn't understand was the LGBTQIA community. I didn't understand what it was to be gay. I didn't understand what that meant. In fact, I was probably derisive towards those groups when I was younger. Not directly. I didn't have anybody directly to be derisive to. But it was socially acceptable to be derisive towards those groups when I was younger.
Not just acceptable, but encouraged. That's what your peers did, so that's what you do.
Right. But it was my curiosity. Well, this is a human being. Want to hear something you won't hear anywhere else? We're unlocking a secret world over here on our Patreon, where the stories get juicier and the laughs get louder. But this door is only for those with a key. The key to our Patreon. Head to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse to unlock bonus episodes, behind-the-scene goodies, and a whole lot more. Yay! For just $2 a month, you can support the show you love and get a VIP pass to our inner circle. What are you waiting for? The party's just getting started over on Patreon. Hey wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.